य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति य एष सुप्तेषु जाग्रति कामं 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 कामपुरुषो पुरुषो निर्विमाणः निर्विमाणः तदेव शुक्रं तद्ब्रह्मा तदेवामृतमुच्यते तस्मिन् लोकः शतः सर्वे तदूनात्यपि कश्चन एतद्वैता 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 एतद्वैता.
Now, starting with the session, first of all, namaste and good morning, everyone. On behalf of entire WICASA WIRC committee, I, Naini Lumabai Cholera, would like to welcome all to today's mentoring session. Now that we are all set, it gives me great joy to welcome each and every one of you, our brilliant participants, and of course, our amazing mentors to the regional level of the National Talent Search. So first of all, a very big congratulations to all the participants on winning at the branch level. You have already made us proud, and today you stand one step closer to the big stage. And to the mentors, a big salute for being the guiding light behind these young minds. Behind every great student, there is a mentor who saw the potential before the world did. So thank you for being the wind beneath their wings. Today is more than just any other mentoring session. It's a chance to raise the bar, a chance to learn everything and push beyond your limits. Take in every bit of guidance you get, stay fully present, and remember, you are not just representing yourself, you are representing the entire Western region. So let's aim to bring this trophies home. So now I would like to request Jitendra sir, our WICASA chairman, to please address the students.
Thank you, Nanil. I hope I'm audible.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So first and foremost, I wish everyone a very happy Father's Day. And to start with, the respected chairman of the Regional Council, that is WIRC, CA Ketan Saiya sir, the two mentors that would be guiding you all today, as rightly stated by Nanil, that they had taken out their valuable time. And on a very short notice, they have accepted an invitation. So, C. Rudesh Bhai and C. Tejas ji, Team WICASA, and all my dear participants who are here after winning their respective branch competitions. So, a warm welcome to you all. And once again, a very happy Father's Day. Friends, I think as Neil rightly quoted, you already step forward in representing the city that you belong to, and not just there. You will be visiting the regional council on 28 and 29, wherein the competitions for NTS regionals are scheduled. I hope that all the branches who have actually already completed the competition has submitted a list to us. In case not from this forum, I request you students to please get in touch with various branch committee members of WICASA and ask them to share the list, because I believe that there are certain members, certain students who have still not yet joined this particular group of WICASA at regional competitions. And friends, I think this is a very good opportunity for you all to present yourself, because BOS, who actually are alma mater ICAI, and in that BOS has thought about you so nicely that they have brought in this competition year on year. And also this competition, which is actually happening at 3 levels, so branch, region, and national, gives you ample opportunity to present yourselves and become a world-class professional going forward. So I believe this is something which is say happening these days now, and I really envy you all because in our times we never had this kind of competitions. So in this process of participating, I think you are already a winner. And even if you are not able to make through, because I don't say that you will not be, but in case you are not able to make through, keep trying. And these sessions, which actually motivate you, tell you what is to be done, what is not to be done, are actually a guiding force for you all. So keep in touch with the efforts of WICASA. I look forward to meeting you all on 28th and 29th. In case you face any sort of difficulty when it comes to logistics, accommodation, or things like that, please reach out to us, me as well as our team. We are 17 odd here, and we'll definitely take good care of you all. So looking forward to see you all, and all the very best, not just for today's session, but also for the regional competitions. And I look forward that may the best person win. We have, say, someone from WIRC winning the national as well. So all the best, very best to everyone. And over to you, Nainal.
Yes, thank you so much, Jitan sir. We also have
Your voice is a little low. Your voice is a little low.
Acha. So thank you so much, Jitan sir. Uh, Now to move forward with, we also have WRC Chairman Ketan Sayya sir with us. Uh, so I would like to request Ketan Sayya sir to please share his thoughts for the same.
Thank you, Nainin. I hope I'm also audible. Yeah, thank you so much, dear friend Rudesh. We worked in the council for all 3 years, and I think a fantastic person to mentor, guide the student on these competitions. Tejas bhai, once again, thank you to you also for sparing your valuable time for Vikasa on this Sunday morning, and all you future chartered accountant who have joined Sunday morning. Uh, Vikasa chairperson has ably dealt with all the aspect of today's conference as well as the competition which is going to happen on 28, 29. And I echo his voice that we need a national winner from WIRC. So now onwards, you are not representing your branch, you are going to represent WIRC. So scale up, put your lot of hard work into this. All the competition, whichever, wherever you are participating in this 5-6 competition, you must work very, very hard. I think from today onwards, you have almost a fortnight to improvise upon wherever, whatever weaknesses are there. Try and do a SWOT analysis of yourself vis-a-vis the competition. Look at the past videos if you have. Each and every small tip which is given by both the speakers, both the mentors today are important. Take a pen and pad in your hand, make a note of each and every point. I don't know if they share their PPT, please go through word by word then. And then I'm sure they are still available for mentoring in this available fortnight. So wherever you need a help, kindly contact them and ask your difficulties, how to improvise, what to do, what not to do is more important. I think the most important is practice. You will have to practice in this 15 days, whatever time you are available, and take the competition at the very, very seriously, because now you are going to the level 2 where you are competing with the branch leaders, branch winners who have already won the competition in different branches. But don't get demotivated. Even a person from a smallest place can win the national level. And it is not only national level. Let me tell you that the person who is winning the national level competition are being hosted by ICAI to the international level. So we need a winner who is from WRC going at the international level. That is our thought process. Father's Day, wishing all of you a very, very happy Father's Day. I'm very happy that nowadays we are able to recognize Father's Day also, because always we've talked about Mother's Day, and Father's Day was at not even so known to all of us. Father is our best friend, and I think first hero to whom we see and we start following him, we start learning from him. He's the person who brings the lot of glory to the home. He goes entire day out, work very, very hard for the family. So I think equally important. So requesting all the students to celebrate the today's Sunday, Father's Day with your fathers. You have been, going out with your friends, going out everywhere. Try and remain with your father, take out time, talk to him, meet him. And I think that's the best celebration of Father's Day, which you can do being a Sunday today. With this, my compliment to the Vikasa team led by Jitendra Saglani for thinking out of box and supporting all the students at the branch level. So we completed our WIC competition and now all the branches students are our student and we want each one of them to perform well. That was our thought process of supporting all the students from all 36 branches. Thank you so much, Nainil, for giving me the valuable time to talk to all the students. Wishing a great success to each of each student. And as rightly told by Vikasa chairperson, if you have any difficulties of logistic in Mumbai, please contact me or anyone in Vikasa. Thank you so much.
Ethan sir, thank you so much for the insights. So now moving forward with the session, I would like to request Karishma Nathwani, Managing Committee Member of WICASA Committee, to please introduce our mentors.
Hello, I'm audible. Good morning, everyone. It's my absolute honor to introduce our two speakers today. Firstly, our first speaker, we have CA Hridesh Sankhania sir, a dynamic and multi-faced professional. He is a chartered accountant, lawyer, and postgraduate in commerce, who is also NEP qualified and visa certified. He currently served as elected Regional Council member of Western Region of Institute of Chartered Accountants of India for the term 2022 to 25. He is the founder of Marrow Foundation, which trains, mentors, and organizes impactful seminars, workshops, and socio-cultural events. His mission is to educate the underprivileged and eventually establish an adoption center and schools for them. With an experience of over 13 years and having mentored more than 1 lakh people face to face, he has built a reputation as a public speaker, personality development coach, and mentors to both professionals and students. His area of expertise include public speaking, presentation skills, career guidance, group discussions, interview skills, and leadership. He is also a professional anchor, choreographer, and event manager for corporate and wedding events. Adding to his diverse experience, he has worked as a bank auditor for over 10 years, having audited central statutory audits of PSU banks, RBI, and foreign banks. He lives by the powerful belief that motivational thoughts are good, but motivational actions are better. A very warm welcome today, sir. Our next speaker is CA Tejas Suchak, sir. He is a powerhouse of talent, an academic, author, athlete, and mentor par excellence. He is co-founder of Ultimate CA and a passionate educator who teaches accounting at CA Foundation level and advanced accounting at CA Intermediate level. He is also a former educator at an academy and the author of best-selling books on accounting standards, highly regarded among CA aspirants across India. Tejas was cleared his CA in January 2017. He has also served as the treasurer of Nagpur Vikasa during 2013 to 14 tenure and has conducted numerous revisionary classes for CA Foundation and Intermediate across more than 20 ICAI branches nationwide. Beyond academics, he brings with him a legacy of sports. He is a former national record holder in swimming in the 50-meter, 100-meter, and 200-meter breaststroke event, holding records from 2008 to 2011. For his achievements, he was honored with a prestigious Tata Nehru Sports Scholarship. An academic achiever too, he was All India Economics topper in CBSE 12 boards, providing his brilliance across disciplines. With his blend of knowledge, discipline, and passion, CA Tejas Suchak sir continues to inspire the next generation of chartered accountants. A very warm welcome to you, sir. Over to you now.
So much, Karishma, for giving such a good introduction to So now I'd like to request our mentors to please begin with the session and start the session.
Sure. Tejas sir, should I go ahead? Lovely. Great. Good morning, everyone. Am I audible and visible? Everything very clearly? Lovely, lovely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay. So first of all, let me first thank the entire WRC and the Vikasa. Thank you, Ketan Sayya sir, the chairman of WRC, Jiten Saglani sir, the Vikasa chairperson, and of course the entire Vikasa committee. A lot of videos have been off. Thank you for amazing MOC, Nenil, Karishma for their entire amazing introduction, and definitely my co-panelist, speaker, and a very dear friend, Tejas sir. So glad to have this session together with you. I think so. I'm excited that we've got like 100+ participants. Apart from the candidates who've moving ahead from the branch winners, I'm sure a lot of them have joined. So everyone, if you're excited, and if you ever think that you're excited on stage also, right? Could you just write down yes in the chat box? The chat box should be visible to all. So everyone, can I see some chats so that I know that you're listening to me, hearing to me? Thoda, yes. Everyone. Put your fastest fingers first, quick. Lovely. That shows an excitement. Thank you so much. Lovely. I think some yeses are going on. Let it keep going. Lovely. So I think we're going to be taking, maybe I'll take very little time, and before we actually go ahead. So let's understand. So I'll keep myself as short, as crisp as possible. 5 competitions NTS, right? Elocution, debate, essay, pitch deck, and quiz. The regional levels are going to be held across India, and definitely, maybe a couple of 2-3 winners, depending on each competition, will move ahead for the national. So I hope everywhere the branch competitions are done. For everyone who aspires to win regional, let us first understand that depending on, there are 20, 30, 40, 50 participants, only 1 or 2 can win, and not everybody can win, right? I think we'll have to agree and have that mindset, right? In case, if you have been able to make the judges fight, listen me out well. Whether it's regional competition, national competition, if there are more than 2 judges, 3 judges, 4 judges, and if they're fighting amongst themselves that this person is better, should go ahead, or this person is better, you've done your part. If the judges are fighting, that is where the entire competition should lie. The judges should fight, according to me, this particular person is better. According to me, this particular person is better. Whichever competition, if you've been able to do that, I think you've achieved. Then whosoever wins, it's absolutely all right, because you've given that cutthroat competition till that end. I think that is the preparation level that each one of you needs to have. We've got like around couple of weeks to prepare. What is very most important, I understand and assume that every one of you have gone through the guidelines of ICAI NTS, whether it's whichever competition. The first ever thing that you need to go through is the guidelines, and on what basis the winners will be selected by the judges in terms of parameters of winning becomes most essential. Make sure. So congratulations to all of them who won the branch level and moving ahead to the regional level, depending whether you went through at that point in time or not. And all the other students who are here, whether you could not succeed at branch level, or maybe, you might properly, putting down next competition at branch level or anything of that sort. Now that you've read the rules, that is parameters of on what basis judges are going to select you, question is going to be, so let's start competition by competition. Let's pick up, while Tejas sir will also speak on the other competition. I'll try to speak at the outset for elocution competition. Looking at earlier days when it was in school time, elocution was just about getting the best content and speaking in front of people, right? That's going to be one aspect of elocution competition. The second aspect of elocution competition, where the entire game could change is the Q&A round. That is the question and answer round. And a lot of people who've done best in their speech round could go little down, right, at the Q&A round. So meaning, while the first thing is going to be when we say content is important. So content meaning not the content that you speak in 10 minutes is important, but how much content about that topic do you know? So how do you prepare for elocution competition is, while you have thought for a 10-minute content, make sure to ask questions to yourself, to your own speech, or get a friend to, review your content and tell him or her to ask you 4 or 5 questions on this basis. That is how you will prepare in terms of your content, right? Now that you've prepared for your content, make sure that it is in time limit. A lot of people, the warning bell is given, right? So, Nanil, Kritika, whosoever, what we have a 10-minute thing, and I think at what minute is the warning bell? 8th minute. Okay. So in case if the warning bell is at 8th minute, a lot of people then suddenly realize, "Arey, 8 minute ho gaya, now I just need to conclude." That's the first sign that you're getting a negative mark on the judge ka score sheet, because you were not aware that your 8 minutes are done and you didn't know where where your speeches have moved ahead. Making sure the number of times you've read and learned by heart your own speech, that you know exactly at that point in time कि इस time पे bell बजने वाला है, right? So that's my first thing. That is the time thing after the content. Are we taking care of the time limit? So if it is an 8-minute plus 2 minutes for conclusion time, make sure you have your specific speech content ready of what you want to conclude. Please remember, it's a conclusion. You don't have to give a concluding statement. It has to be a proper narrative conclusion, right? Now, so I have to read out very specifically, let's say an example for elocution competition. Give me 1 second. The first thing that it talks about lucidity of language, right? So when it talks about lucidity of language, a lot of people have this myth that, if you've spoken good English, it's done and dusted. It does not matter. Not really, right? You could just learn by heart a thing. So make sure the language that you're speaking in this case, of course, in English, the language that you're speaking is clear. That's enough. One of the first C of communication, clarity of thought. Most important thing. There it comes, the next most important thing is the style of delivery. Now the entire thing is, gone are the days when you could start your speeches by, "Good morning, everyone. I'm CA Rudiesh Pankhania and I represent this branch." Not really. And this is my topic. Not really. Ideally, your style of delivery, if you could start in the first 30 seconds. So typically, when you are coming and the judges are trying to look for your name, the moment you start speaking, the first sentence, judge ka dhyan suddenly should go to you. Aur yaar, kaun bola? That should be your voice. It need not be loud. It should be that different. That should be the first sentence. Meaning, typically, you can already either start with a rhetorical question, ideally, or you could start with like a quote or a phrase. I mean, just example, I just wrote this currently. Imagine if you're starting with whatever topic it is. The unthinkable is in motion. The idea is not, but the execution. It's not what you can do, but what you will do will be always seen. It's not your motivation, but it will be your dedication that people will appreciate. It's not how quick you get the success, but how far you will go with the success will always be measured. Now the question is, if you're going to speak something very different at the outset, that's where will judges' attention bring towards you. And then you put down, it could be a rhetorical question to the audience as well, right? But it should be, whenever you're asking a question, make sure you pause for like maybe 2, 3, 4 seconds, and then they start answering. And in case if they do not answer, you've prepared, you kept somebody in the audience who are going to answer that, right? Very specifically. So that becomes like the style of the delay at that point in time. The next is going to be, and I'm going to be asked, getting your questions as well done. The next is going to be in terms of how well are you using your expressions? Most important. A lot of people I've seen. So because, we've been trained that make sure you have expressions, people have a common expression, a nice expression every moment. Listen me out very well. क्योंकि आप सीख के आए हो कि एक्सप्रेसिव होना चाहिए आपका फेस, does not mean that you should always be smiling for the entire 10 minutes of speech. Remember this. The question is for the entire 10 minutes of speech, your expressions should keep on changing depending the emotion that you're trying to make the judge feel. And that's where the entire game is going to be कि भाई content अच्छा लगा, सब अच्छा लगा, लेकिन दिल को नहीं छुआ speech, right? Because there's no presentation. For the entire 10 minutes, the judges are only looking at you. So you are the presenter and you are the presentation, right? Make sure to do that. Next, how well you could engage the audience. The audience you could engage typically by number one is by asking maybe 1 or 2 questions. That is at the outset or maybe in between also, not a problem. However, a lot of people make this mistake is when they ask questions, they take a lot of time and taking a lot of answers. Make sure you do not do that. You get negative marks. Why? Because you're using your speech time to get drifted away. You cannot have more than 15-20 seconds to have a quick answers for the audience. And you're like, okay, let me gonna be, say this. Or somebody asked me, can we use props? Definitely you can. You can use props again, but usage of props should not be more than 15-20 seconds or even lesser. Remember, it's an elocution competition at the end. There has to be time for the content. So you can use props, but while you're speaking and doing something or you're just presenting, that's absolutely fine. So assuming I've got in front, just next to me this charger, and you're trying to relate something of that sort, right? It's like, you're plugging it in and you get a shock. Laga kya? So, that's going to be for like 5 seconds. You're using a prop. Absolutely not a problem. You cannot use a prop for like 30 seconds and just keep using a prop. Make sure that is going to be more important. The question is how deeply you are covering the content in your elocution is going to be most important. Meaning the entire thing is going to be that content ka depth mein aapne kuch examples liye hai. Have you looked at from the overall perspective? That will be most important, because what will happen there before even presentation, the content will always have the key. Remember this. So make sure your content is vet by somebody. You may use Google, you may use ChatGPT, but make sure you're using something very live data and current factual data and not old age data, depending on what type of the topic that you choose to. The last one, sorry, the second last one, make sure you have your entire hand expressions and your body expressions. हमने already बात करा facial expression से, right? What is important is your hands should express depending on the type of the content that you're speaking. If you realize while I'm talking, because I'm so used to using my hands, you realize my hands keep on changing depending on the type of the topic that I'm using. It just does not express in this manner. So hand expressions typically do not mean that you're using your hands just to speak something, but they just become a narrative of somebody. आपको हाथ ऐसे यूज करने हैं कि सामने वाला अगर बंदा सुन नहीं सकता, if somebody is deaf in front of you, he should also be able to get the emotion of what you are trying to speak. And that becomes most important. Learn at that level, very specific, right? So that's where hand expressions. Now the entire is your body language. Now, depending whether you're using a podium or you're not using a podium and you're coming center stage and using a mic. Practice. So in case if you're used to, just imagine if you're used to using a podium and there is no podium over there, or vice versa. So make sure you're mindly prepared and you know what exactly you would want to do. I've seen at even regional level earlier in competitions, forget the branch level, that people were suddenly baffled with the type of the stage it was. Somebody thought acha stage aisa rahega, and they got a different stage. You can't assume, you don't know what type of a stage is going to be. You have to just be mindly prepared with whatever I am going to be like this. Also, a lot of people come with that, let's say an example, you will use a collar mic, but in case over there is no collar mic and you have to use a hand mic. Right? What are you going to be doing? So all of these things, make sure that you are well prepared, right? Now, so your body movements, so make sure you don't move a lot on stage while you speak. So moving is nice, but in the rhythmic way that you actually move depends. Example, जब एक teacher move करता है, and I'm sure Tejas sir will also agree then when he's going to speak. So when a teacher moves, because he's going to take a session for 3, 4, 5, 6 hours. आप 10 मिनट का speech देने आए हो. So बहुत movement करोगे while you're talking, it will not look nice because then you are not having eye movements with people. So even if you're moving a little, make sure your eye contact with the judges or with the audience is not obstructed. What a lot of people do, I mean, because we are sitting in an online session, otherwise I would have been more happy if it was physical session, to actually tell what people typically do. So make sure you don't move, keeping your eyes away from the audience. Make sure that you do that. Rehearse your speech the way you will speak. Just imagine Virat Kohli winning RCB after 17 years at 18 year. Just imagine, did he just sit and read a book on cricket, or he actually practiced every day, of hitting sixes? He actually practiced, right? Very typically. So you'll have to practice your speech. When I use the word practice your speech, is not okay, you've read and learned by heart your speech, but typically you'll have to practice the way you're going to speak. Just imagine a dancer or a singer who comes on Indian Idol or Dance India Dance or any such competition. They're coming to sing for 2 or 3 minutes or dance 2 or 3 minutes. The number of times that same performance on the same stage that they're trying to rehearse, right? We will have to do that. And that is why at CA level also, when, professors, teachers tell that write mock test. I'm sure Tejas sir is the best one to, guide on that as well. So that is why we say, why? Because you're trying to rehearse the same thing. So that exactly what you've done here, you're trying to replicate on stage there, right? So make sure that is there. Now, so as somebody rightly said, can we narrate our speech in a poetic way? I would not agree. The entire speech cannot be in a poetic way. 10 minute ke liye. That's my personal opinion as a maybe on this side. मतलब 10 मिनट, because पोएट्री का तो अलग नेशनल टैलेंट कंपटीशन होता है ना, तो you cannot have your entire speech in a very poetic way, the entire 10 minutes. However, you can have things in that manner. That's I'm sure could be possible. Also, depending, we can always check up depending at which region or you are, we can always check up ke udhar unko chalega kya, something of that sort. Okay. Can we use a few lines in Hindi? Definitely yes. So if it's in English, if they've mentioned that language is English, remember you can only quote some phrases, some dialogues कि जिसको इंग्लिश में कन्वर्ट करेंगे तो मजा नहीं आएगा. If I have to speak a dialogue of, let's say, दीपिका पादुकोण from ये जवानी है दीवानी, that's my favorite one, कि बनी जिंदगी में कितना भी कर लो कुछ ना कुछ तो छूट ही जाएगा. Now the moment I said that, there was a little smile on Nainil का face, right? But अगर मैं इसको कन्वर्ट कर देता इंग्लिश में, that bunny, how much ever time remains, something will fall apart or something will always remain. It won't give that feel because we've always heard that, right? So make sure that with the judges, and you can always pre-inform the judges. I've got some quotes in other language. That's absolutely fine. So अगर उस quote की वहां absolutely जरूरत है तो use करना ही पड़ेगा. That's where is going to be most important. So I think so elocution, if I have to divide in two parts, first is making your content, learning by heart, and give your best on stage. You should score 100 out of 100 if there are 100 marks. क्योंकि ये तो पूरा प्रिपरेशन आपके ऊपर था ना, इसमें तो सामने वाले ने अब तक क्वेश्चन भी नहीं पूछा है. प्रॉब्लम कहां आएगा? द सेकेंड पार्ट, जब क्वेश्चन ऑडियंस जजेस पूछेंगे, राइट? तभी तो थोड़ा सा उसके लिए हमको प्रिपेयर करना है फॉर कंटेंट, एंड दैट इज हाउ यू गेट योर डिफरेंट फ्रेंड्स टू के भाई उनको स्पीच पढ़वाओ. वो बोलेंगे अरे नहीं, अरे दोस्त किस काम के, राइट? ऑल्सो इफ डिपेंडिंग फ्रॉम विच एवर ब्रांच यू आर कमिंग, सो अगर आप ईच ब्रांच से एलोक्यूशन या डिबेट में लेट्स से 2 जने जीते हो and you had another 8 participants also who have not won, take help of them. They were equally qualified because they were there, no? So no problem. On that particular day, that day was not of theirs, right? So show them your speech, make them judge and let them ask you questions on your speeches. That is something possible, right? You're representing your branch, very essential, correct? That is something that you need to do. The second aspect, that is Q&A round. Now is how you prepare. Now the question answer round, typically, it's going to be direct at that point in time. You may get like just 5 seconds to think or 10 seconds maximum to think. You cannot get more than 10 seconds to think. Now you have to be that prepared कि 10 seconds मिलने के बाद, and your answer cannot last for 5 minutes, right? They could last for like 1 minute 60 seconds, maximum 90 seconds, or maximum 2 minutes. It should not reach to the point that the judges have looked at you, अरे यार ये बहुत बोल रहा है, आंसर भी छोड़ो. Then you're not getting the marks on the judge ka score sheet. Remember this. So it should be quick, it should be crisp. However, it should not just be 20 seconds and 30 seconds. Unless it was a very yes or a no type of the question, which the judges would never, very rarely ask. If there are a lot of participants and they want to ask to everybody yes or no, they'll always ask you for a justification. A justification with a very quick small example is always nice. Remember this. A justification cannot be just based on factual. So facts combined with an example will always work, right? That's for elocution. Somebody's saying, I'm just going to be reading out the question for what's an opinion on your humor in, I've heard from my friend, only have humor in the personality can attract audience through humor. Okay. Can you use humor? Of course you can use humor, but naturally. However, there should be relevance in the topic. The topic should need humor. So depending on the topic, you will have to create. That is why I said you can use quote, phrase, humor, anything, but it should be relevant. It should not be that the topic did not need and you've just tried to put it. So अगर कुछ audit का topic है, आप definitely humor का एक sentence डाल सकते that could bring a smile. Remember, it's a competition. It's not something serious, right? So you have to have little fun, but it should not get drifted away. So that is something very essential to catch the audience attention, right? We're going to have Q&A at the end. Don't worry. Question would be related to our speech or overall topic. Dear question for everyone. I think that's why I said read the guidelines, rules very clearly. They have mentioned this question should not have arisen, right? Question would always be related to your speech. Correct? Question be related to your speech. In the end, if there is a common question would be little generic. If there is a common question which is asked to all the participants, that would be little generic and not necessarily on somebody's one person's speech, so that it's not being biased to somebody, and somebody is able to. Can you include politician's name or anything? Definitely yes, you can, if that script is needing it. Okay. How to overcome stage fear and everything we'll taking in the end after Tejas sir also speaks in. Keshav, somebody is asked, in case if we are unable to answer the question or have partial answer about the queue, how should we respond? कुछ नहीं, अपने को जितना आता है उतना आता है भाई. That is why I said you have to prepare, right? That is why I said you have to prepare. If you do not know the answer, you cannot do anything. You have to just think that was a bad day. Don't worry, right? That's always a possibility. But After preparation, you cannot have that you did not know. That's why I said you have to think for 10 seconds. Right? You remember how the Miss Indias or the Miss Worlds or Mr. India, Mr. Worlds, gives the answers. They're going to say, thank you, Surudhesh Pankhania, sir, for your question. So your question is blah, 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 blah. So while they're speaking these lines, the back of the mind is thinking of the answer. Remember, what is your and what is your can always be different if you're a good actor, if you're a good speaker on the stage. Right? Very essential. The last one, the most important. So by the way, so just to talk about the next competition, which is a debate competition, right? Debate में अगर आप देखो is again divided into half and half. The first half is you are presenting your speech depending on whether you are for or against. You cannot afford to lose marks in that. It seemed like elocution. So जो मैंने अभी तक elocution के लिए बोला, the same thing goes for the debate का first half also. That is where you're coming and giving speech in terms of little humor, maybe question or a phrase or a quote, stage, everything. Now comes the next thing in over there also is the refutation round. Apart from the question answer round. Question answer round is going to be the way in elocution round, right? The most important part is the refutation. So if there is a refutation round and I am the one, let's say an example, I'm for the topic and in front of me, let's say Krutika is against the topic and we are trying to refute with each other one-on-one. What is very important that you should, most important thing in debate. How many of you are participating in debate? Can somebody keep putting in the chat box. If you're in debate, write down D. D for Delhi. If you're participating in debate competition, debate. D. Lovely. So, first thing is your speech. Your speech has to be cut. A lot of people क्या करते हैं? कुछ लोग ना speech में बहुत कम points डालते हैं और सोचते हैं अरे refutation में उठाऊंगा. Dude, if I'm in front of you where you've not spoken good content in your speech, I will slack you down in your first minute or first second of refutation, saying that, my dear friend, you hardly had any points in your speech. What do I even refute on? So a lot of people think that we will not speak good pointers in speech round. We will then speak in refutation round. Never do that mistake. Make sure that you have given 5, 6, 7, depending on points in your speech round. Right? Very, very specific. Then comes where refutation round. How do you practice is also get some of your friend, practice with him, asking questions on your speech. What is the refutation round? So assuming Krutika has given a speech on against the topic, against the motion, I'm for the motion, right? Very specifically. After my speech, after her speech, and if I start refuting. So number one rule, make sure you don't speak always. A lot of refuters come and continuously speak, not allowing the other person to speak. ये दिख के आता है. Very specific. Meaning, अगर मैं Krutika is my opponent and मैं Krutika को कुछ question पूछ रहा हूं, I have to give her time to answer. Maybe 10 or 15, 20 seconds, I'll have to keep my mouth shut. Lot of people don't do that. वो 5 सेकंड में दूसरा कुछ शुरू हो जाते हो. You know what I'll do if I'm the opponent? I'll say, right, allow me to answer. If you don't want me to allow to answer and just ask the question, go and ask. I'm not going to answer only. Let the judges give you marks. So make sure if you ever ask a question, give 15 seconds to the opponent to answer and then quickly ask another question. And if you're the opponent, answer and immediately ask the next question. And then you will have to answer. That is how the refutation round has to go, with a content full. If the judge is not able to listen anything because you both were screaming, please understand, as far as I am aware, at regional level, there will be 2 winners for and 2 winners for against, right? Who will go to national level. Correct? Now, so अगर आप दोनों अच्छे नहीं थे, तो आप दोनों ही डिस्कार्ड हो जाओगे ना. अगर आप दोनों का कुछ रेफ्यूटेशन राउंड सुना ही नहीं दे रहा है, so both of them will, right? So make sure. So Prabhu, as you said, cross questioning is not allowed. When I say cross questioning, meaning what is a refutation round? I am asking you question, you have to ask me question. It is not only four people will ask the question to against, and not against will ask to four. No, both have to ask. So both have to ask, but by answering you have to ask question, and you have to ask on the basis of speech and quote facts. Remember that. Debate round में quoting facts we have value. So make sure you prepared with facts. Very essential. So refutation round, depending of 3, 4, 5, 6 minutes, how much ever, make sure you've been very, you know when to speak, you know when to keep your mouth shut, and you know when to raise your voice. Most important. Second, depending on, whether you're using the podium, you're, stood near to each other, आपको जिधर खड़े रखेंगे, stand there. A lot of people, after 2 minutes, they are that close. Because you are so much, in so-called aggression, ke bhai aage aa gaye. Never do that. You have to be in your place, right? Very specific. Your hand movements should not be as loud that it should not feel कि ये झगड़ा कर रहा है. Remember this, right? So very specific. Another most important, do not try to agree to your opponent's points. You are in a debate and not a GD. So you can never say that, Tanishka, I agree to your point. No, I disagree because blah, 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 blah. Right? Okay. So judges will have questions for rebuttal round. Definitely, yes. After the rebuttal round, judges will ask questions. Once again, it is given. Right? Okay. Somebody is asking, what are your views on aggression? Like we have to come into aggression while debating. Who said this? It is never. Remember, aggression meaning your speech content में aggression होना चाहिए. आपके पूरे body में aggression नहीं होना चाहिए. And I mean it. When I say content में aggression होना चाहिए, meaning you have to be firm with the points that you are speaking and be firm to your pointers. That is what the firm aggression is going to be. Right? So depending on, howsoever round it is. So if they say, okay, 3 minutes only, 4 will ask the questions to the against, and the against have to keep on answering, then you don't speak at that point in time, don't ask question, and then vice versa. Depending, so different places, they could have different way. So multiple ways. So if they say that for first 3 minutes, 4 will ask questions to against, and the next 3 minutes against will ask questions to 4. So answer, however, answer in a manner that, remember, it is a very tact thing, कि सामने वाले को हम घुमा देवे. But you should not just go round and round without giving actual facts, because then judge will not give you a score sheet, right? Scores on his score sheet. So very specifically. And then of course, question and answer, they will ask you any questions on your, in supporting of yours. So that's why I said, how do you prepare once your content is prepared for, let's say for the motion, get somebody ask you, confronting your speech as they are against, and vice versa for the against one. Somebody is asking any tip for dressing formal clothing, right? Formal clothing, it has to be there. अगर आप पैंट शर्ट के साथ जैकेट पहन सकते हो, पहनो. जैकेट नहीं है, दोस्त का मिल सकता है, ले लो. अगर वो भी नहीं है, तो टाई पहन लो एटलीस्ट. If not, पैंट शर्ट तो पहनना ही है, right? So formal clothing, I think, unless in the rules, if they're going to allow you some traditional clothes, depending on, the type of the speech. So get it confirmed, with the department. So we have to refute in speech round if our turn is second. How does that matter? That's what I said. No, okay, let's say an example, 3 minutes, I have to refute somebody's points, and then 3 minutes, they have to refute my points. No problem. Refute का मतलब क्या होता है? आप confront कर रहे हो किसी का speech. तो अगर सामने वाले ने 3-4 मिनट का स्पीच दिया है, सो आप उसके स्पीच पे हर पॉइंट उसने जो बोला, इसीलिए जब वो बंदा स्पीच दे रहा है, यू हैव टू नोट पॉइंट्स. इसके सामने ये, इसके सामने ये, इसके सामने, एब्सोल्युटली राइट. सो व्हेन समबडी इज गिविंग स्पीच, you have to write down points that these are the points on which you want to ask question. So let's say an example, if somebody spoken, you know, that earth is flat, he is for the motion, and I'm going to be telling him, my dear friend, you said earth is flat, and then I will tell him some fact which says that earth is not flat, that, and ask him to please counter argue very specifically, right? Very essential. Okay. I'll take last 2-3 minutes, and I think Tejas sir, you know, would like to would take ahead. So for first presentation round, can we take a card to write? Okay. Typically, it is expected that you learn by heart your speeches, number one. However, cue cards are always absolutely fine. So either you could have a cue card, or you can use your hands as cue card. But how do you use cue card is very important. कुछ लोग ना क्यू कार्ड ऐसा सामने ही रख के बैठ जाते हैं. Remember this. So do not be like you're actually, you know, so cue card has to be cues. Cues मतलब while you are speaking, आपका hand ऐसे move हो रहा है, आपकी नजर जा रही है और आपने देख लिया. That is what should be the cue card use. Cue card should not be used as reading and speaking in from the card, but it should just be that you, while speaking, you are glancing and speaking. फिलहाल मेरे हाथ में कुछ नहीं है. Right? But in case if I've forgotten, in case if I would want to write, and you know, I'm going to be like, okay, and this point, right? That is where it is going to be there. Sure. So that's absolutely fine. Okay. Now the last point, जिस पे आपका first prize will always be based on. So by the way, all of these pointers, that is stage presence pointers that I've spoken, are applicable in elocution, debate, even in pitch deck for that matter, you know, of how are you carrying yourself on stage. While the content related sir will speak, or for that matter, essay as well. That, you know, how structured is your speech, how paraphrasing you have done, how well you've started, how well you've ended, you know, whether you've given some examples and you've quoted in a manner. Last pointer, which is not applicable to essay, but anytime you go on stage, which will determine whether you can win this or not, if baki everything is well done. Because if this point is not done well, baki sab acha hoga na, still it is difficult to win. Is your voice modulation. It is the voice modulation which makes and creates an impact when you are speaking. That's why I said not applicable to essay. So whenever you go on stage, this will become applicable. When I say voice modulation, matlab, lot of people do what? A lot of people will try to raise their voice, lessen their voice, raise their voice, lessen their voice. No. Voice modulation is the correct usage of comma, colon, semicolon, question mark, exclamation, all of these things in a verbal form. Most important. So, अगर आपके speech में comma है, तो you know how much to pause. अगर आपके speech में colon या semicolon है और या full stop है, you should know how much to pause. Very specifically. Another thing, कौन से word पे ज्यादा emphasis देना है and कब देना है becomes most important. And linked to voice modulation is the last verdict, that is pausing during speeches. You see this? After the word speeches, I paused. These have to be like 1-2 second pause. You're trying to put into the mind of the speaker or of the listener or the judge, you know, you let it flow. Ye gaya. That has to be used. So pauses, if used well, it's like those section numbers in your CA inter and CA final exam for law, tax, audit papers. सेक्शन नंबर्स हम बोलते हैं कि अगर लर्न्ड बाय हार्ट है तो सही वाला लिखो तो मार्क्स मिलेगा, अगर नहीं कंफर्म हो तो लिख के मत आना. आई थिंक मोस्ट टीचर्स वुड हैव टोल्ड यू दिस, राइट? कि इफ यू आर नॉट श्योर ऑफ द सेक्शन नंबर्स, डोंट राइट. उल्टा पड़ जाएगा पूरा आंसर. दैट्स गोइंग टू हैपन विद पॉज. If pause is used incorrectly because रुद्रेश पंखाना ने बोल दिया use pause और आप बार बार pause हो गए, भाई मेरे पास मत आइयो फिर. So pauses in case if used incorrectly, it's a terrible tool, right? If used well, it can gain you first. If used not well, it will make you go last. So you'll have to practice. So pauses and that voice modulation, that's why I said being the last most important part, right? That's going to be essential. ऐसे में तो वो comma, colon, semicolon accordingly sentences frame में वो आ जाएगा, right? So make sure that whatever you do, your speech has to make an impact when मतलब आपके थाली में आपका मार्क्स, यू नो, क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछा है, सामने वाले ने रेब्यूटल में क्वेश्चन नहीं पूछा है, जज ने कुछ नहीं पूछा है, योर मार्क्स आर ओनली बेस्ड ऑन योर प्रेपरेशन लेवल. Think as much out of the box that you could use. Just because somebody has used props in their speeches somewhere, you also use props. You can use props, get some relevancy accordingly, let some amazing way. Absolutely not a problem. You'll have to connect the dotted lines. Very essential, right? So make quotes, anything. How do you put that quote? Very important. Remember this, right? That's from my side. More Tejas sir would go ahead. Nanil, can I ask Tejas sir to continue? Sure. Tejas sir, over to you, sir.
Okay, so good morning. Am I audible, everybody? Yeah. Okay. So to the 125, 150 odd students over here, future industry leaders, not just industry leaders, maybe student leaders, but for sure, successful chartered accountants in future. And why do I say it? Because being CA students, you guys are gaining knowledge, but on top of it, what you guys are doing is in participating in such events, which will add so much to your personality that this combined with your knowledge will make sure is a success formula in your professional career. Like you can see Rudyesh sir over here, such a good speaker, such a great speaker. In the last 30-40 minutes, he hasn't left 1 second where a student can feel distracted or feel a bit demotivated. And why is that? Because he has practiced all of this. I'm quite sure, I don't know, but I'm quite sure that he has practiced, he's participated in all such events during his student life. Sir, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes.
So to all you successful future chartered accountants, I would first like to congratulate you for the fact that आप लोग ने decide किया कि हम इस event में participate करेंगे and we will take our personal careers to the next level. So first of all, congratulations to each and every one of you. And having said that, let me first wish good morning to each and every one of you, to the Western Indian Regional Council, the chairman of WIRC, Ketan sir, chairman of WICASA, Jiten sir, to the WICASA managing committee, Nainil present over here, Karishma ke saath, I guess there were more Krutika is over here, and to all other members of the managing committee, thank you for having me over here. Absolute pleasure being amongst all of you, the managing committee, and amongst all the students. And yes, continuing where Rudyesh sir has left this conversation, I will be starting with a few pointers regarding debate before I move up to the pitch desk. So first of all, yes, are you guys ready to move on from what Rudyesh sir said, rather continue from where Rudyesh sir said and take this ahead? Because like topping Rudyesh sir's suggestions and Rudyesh sir's commentary is like altogether a different task. But yes, I will try my best कि Rudyesh sir ने जो बोला उसके ऊपर मैं आपको कुछ pointers दूं, उसके ऊपर मैं आपको कुछ बातें बताऊं जो आपके लिए आने वाले competition में will be very 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 useful. Okay, so yes, comment section मैंने यहाँ पे चालू कर दिया. एक बार जैसे Rudyesh sir ने कहा था सभी लोग वापस give me a quick yes. So we'll तुरंत very quickly start with the pointers of pitch desk and a few pointers for debate as well. Okay, so what I'd like to say over here, आपने अगर first of all ये observe किया होगा, what I first did was I just didn't start with a normal good morning all of you. This is CA Tejas Suchak this side. I am this, that, ye, wo. And thank you to Desh sir, and good morning to the managing committee, and good morning to the students. Now, why I did that? First of all, when I started with talking about you students, when I started with talking about what you are doing with your careers right now, where you are taking your careers to an altogether new level, a different level, then I then I switched to the my colleague, my speaker, co-speaker for this event. Then I switched to talking about the managing committee. What I did over here, I played with everybody's mentality. Sir, did you just manipulate us? No. I just gave you an idea of what you are supposed to do when you start with your debate event. You are supposed to grasp everybody's attention in the first 30 seconds itself. Whatever the topic you are speaking, whether it is for or it is against, if I start with, I am here to talk in favor of this topic because I thoroughly believe in this topic, you are not doing any favor or any better or anything like to justify the 10 minutes you have in hand. राइट 10 मिनट्स भी नहीं आपके पास डिबेट के लिए, तो और भी कम है. 10 मिनट्स तो पूरे वो स्पैन में 10 मिनट्स है आपके पास, तो आपका पॉइंट रखने के लिए यू जस्ट हैव इनिशियली 3 to 4 मिनट्स. और वो 3 to 4 मिनट्स में अगर मैं जाके सबसे पहले ये 30 सेकंड बोलने में वेस्ट कर देता हूं कि आई थॉरली बिलीव आई एम टॉकिंग इन फेवर एंड दिस एंड दैट, तो मैंने जजेस का कॉन्फिडेंस जीतने में 30 सेकंड्स वेस्ट कर दिए. वो 30 seconds का I gave straight away a benefit to whom? To my competitors who are standing against me. Yes. So what I am trying to say, in the first 30 seconds, you are there to make an impression. And those 30 seconds is very, very important to gain somebody's attention or to make someone believe this is just another competitor. Now, when I say कि वो 30 seconds में you are supposed to gain everybody's attention, you are supposed to make everyone believe in you. How to do that? Now, just say for example, अपन एक topic लेके चलते हैं, India-Pakistan war. There is a debate. Is war a solution? And suppose this is your topic, is war a solution? Right? And say for example, you are talking in favor of it. And you are trying to say that, yes, war is the solution. If I start in a manner that, yes, war is the solution, I thoroughly believe war is the solution, because the enemy or the neighboring country is not this, that, ye, wo, whatever, I am taking a long time for the other person to start believing me. Rather, what I would do over here, if war was not the solution, Krishna ji would have never been Sri Arjun's Sarthi and led him to the war. What I did over here in the 10 seconds, I made every doubter believe कि अरे अगर war solution नहीं होता तो actually कृष्ण जी अर्जुन जी के सारथी बन के क्या war में लेके जाते महाभारत में. Oh my God. Now every doubter in those first 10 seconds starts doubting himself or herself. And every panel member sitting over there starts believing in me कि भाई इसने क्या point बोला है. This is quite a point. ये बच्चे ने जो अभी यहाँ पे बोला, ये participant ने जो बोला, इसकी बात में दम है. पहले ही 10 सेकंड में आप सब खुद को अपनी तरफ खींचो. Now it is very rightly said, and I will quote it over here. More than what you say, it's how you say it. मैं यहाँ पे सुन रहा था, एक स्टूडेंट ने बोला कि सर डिबेट के दौरान aggression. Now, if I talk about aggression, with due respect to the two people जिनका नाम मैं यहाँ पे लेने वाला हूँ, for every Arnab Goswami, there is a Palki Sharma Upadhyay. Now, if you do know these two personalities, both are journalists. ठीक है, highly respected journalist. One is very aggressive in his speeches. तुम कभी भी उसकी स्पीच सुनो, उनका डिबेट सुनो, कुछ भी सुनो, उनकी होस्टिंग सुनो, you just get a feel of fighting. To some extent, सुनना ठीक है. But एक समय बाद, if you are sitting with a calm mind, you cannot go through it for long. आपका 3 मिनट का स्पीच है, उसके बाद rebuttal and everything. Overall ये सब मिला के आपके और फॉर अगेंस्ट का सब मिला के 10 मिनट का ये जो स्पैन है, इसमें इफ देयर इज टू मच फाइटिंग, पॉइंट जो आप अक्रॉस रखने की कोशिश कर रहे हो वो नीचे चले जाता है. वेयर एज देयर इज अ पलकी शर्मा उपाध्याय, वेरी कामली, वेरी पॉइज्ड, शी सिट्स ऑन अ चेयर, शी पुट्स अ पॉइंट अक्रॉस, शी मेक्स श्योर वो कंटेंट की जो डिलीवरी कर रहे हैं इतने ठहराव से करे, इतने प्रिसाइसली करे और इतने शांति से आपके दिमाग में वो जाने दे कि आपका दिमाग शांत रहे एंड योर ब्रेन इज जस्ट रेडी टू अब्सॉर्ब इट. सो इट्स नॉट about how strongly or aggressively you are coming out. It's about how believable you are making it. Right? मैं आज अगर यहाँ पे एक होस्ट हो गया, एक एंकर हो गया, एक एमओसी, एक पार्टिसिपेंट हो गया जो बहुत कंटिन्यूसली बॉम्बार्डिंग कर रहा है एक ही पॉइंट को बहुत अग्रेसिवली, अगर मैं वो सुनते जा रहा हूं, आफ्टर अ पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम वो 1 मिनट बाद ही मेरे को ऐसा होगा, यार व्हाई इज ही सो अग्रेसिव? क्या उसके कंटेंट में दम नहीं है? क्या उसका कंटेंट बिलीवेबल नहीं है कि ही इज ट्राइंग आउट टू बी सो अग्रेसिव? एंड उसी के जगह एक दूसरा पर्सन है, strong voice, strong personality, but very calmly coming across. कोई चीज में हड़बड़ी नहीं कर रहा, ऐसा बहुत ओवर ट्राई नहीं कर रहा है कि यार नहीं ऐसा ही होना चाहिए, this is what it should be, this is how it should be. I'm coming out very confident, very calm. I'm making you believe that first I totally believe in what I'm saying. This is how it should be. This is what it is. This is what it is. अरे भैया ठीक है, this is what it is, but ये क्या कर रहा है? Why? It is not helping your cause. First, if you are calm, you come out as confident. Very first point, right? If you are poised, you are coming out as confident. And when you are calm and poised, the other person is ready to listen to you, is ready to straight away absorb what you are trying to say. Understanding what I'm trying to say? So while you are debating, आपको ये चीज ध्यान रखनी है, more than what you say, it's how you say it. ठीक है? स्टार्ट आप करोगे कौन से, कैसे करोगे स्टार्ट? नॉट अ नॉर्मल गुड मॉर्निंग दिस दैट, यस. पहले 10 to 15 seconds make everybody believe in your topic, even the doubters, even the naysayers, even your opponents, make them believe in what you are saying. Once you do that in the first 10-20 seconds, then start addressing everybody. And while I am debating, one very important point is what I'm doing over here. If you see, and what Rudesh sir was doing very well. ये तो virtual चीज है. The only way I can connect with you is through eye contact. वहां पे you have everybody sitting in front of you. When you are calm, when you are poised, your eyes should move slowly from one corner to the other. जब मैंने आपको ये चीज बोला कि if war was not the solution, Krishna ji would not have been Shri Arjun's Sarthi and led him to the war in Mahabharat. मैं आप सभी को ये पॉइंट अगर बिलीव करवाना चाहता हूं, once I say it, एक ग्लांस सबको जानी चाहिए. आप साइलेंटली सबको क्या कह रहे हो? मैंने जो बोला समझा, गया दिमाग में, रजिस्टर हुआ. मैं ये जो बात बोल रहा हूं ये हिस्टोरिकली प्रूवन है. You cannot counter what Krishna ji did. Nobody can counter what Krishna ji did, right? And अगर वो पॉइंट से मैं स्टार्ट किया and I look at everybody, everybody is like, oh भाई, yes, what he is saying makes sense. And it shouldn't be like यहाँ से वहां देखा, वहां से वहां देखा, वहां से वहां. Again, there should not be aggression. There should be calmness. आप अगर देखोगे, now let me quote, इंडिया पाकिस्तान वॉर का निकला है. Did you observe while the war was going on, there were two sides, there were two stories. One story, I will not say which side or which story, one story was continuously popping up. हर एक दिन 2-4 मिनिस्टर आके कुछ ना कुछ बोलते थे. One story, one side was very calm. A time was declared, dedicated personnel were given the authority and the responsibility to communicate without much drama, without anything, coming and saying their side of the story very calmly, no drama whatsoever. And once everything was done, this side of the story, their leader came, he came and just put his point. Calmness tha. जब calmness होता है तो it comes across as confidence, right? जब calmness होता है तो वो जो confidence होता है, that is a believable confidence. You need to make sure you are calm. And when you are calm, you will come across as confident. Do not mistake ki, yaar, if I say things more aggressively, if I talk in a louder voice, and if I just keep shouting at the top of my voice, I will come across as confident. I will come across as annoying. And a person who doesn't believe in the content that he's saying, he just knows one thing, that is shouting. Do not make this mistake. Voice modulation is important. But voice modulation does not mean you have to shout, shout, and shout. Voice modulation means that when I am making a point, I make it believable. I pause at the right time. I raise my voice at the right time, and I bring it down at the right time. And overall, it is a very, very, very listenable thing and a very believable thing for the audience. That is voice modulation. वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन इज नॉट जस्ट कंटिन्यू शाउटिंग शाउटिंग शाउटिंग. कभी अमिताभ बच्चन को देखा है केबीसी में? द परफेक्ट एग्जांपल ऑफ वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन. ही हार्डली रेजेस हिज वॉइस. सर उनको रेज करने की क्या जरूरत है? ऐसा नहीं है, शो है, शो में तो ही कैन डू एनीथिंग. उनका एक जो पिच जाता है 7 करोड़, रिमेंबर दिस, वो 7 करोड़ वाला पिच उन्होंने वो एक ही पॉइंट के लिए रखा है. एंड दैट इज व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से कि वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन जब वो करते हैं तो वो 7 करोड़ वाला जो वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन है, राइट, दैट इज ऑल टुगेदर फॉर जस्ट वन थिंग. और इसलिए आज उस पे कोई भी मीम्स बनते हैं, एवरीथिंग. आज वो अमिताभ बच्चन का ये वाला अगर फोटो भी आता है ना कहीं केबीसी में, वो चेयर पे बैठे हुए ऐसे वाला फोटो, अपने दिमाग में उनका ये वॉइस चलता है 7 करोड़, राइट. अगर वही वॉइस, वही टोन, वही बेस वो उनके पूरे स्पीच में यूज करे, सो विल दैट 7 करोड़ बी वेरी एपिक? नो, इट वोंट बी एपिक, राइट. सो वंस यू हैव स्टार्टेड स्पीकिंग, देयर हैज टू बी वॉइस मॉड्यूलेशन. बट आपका जो सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट है, व्हाट यू आर ट्राइंग टू पुट अक्रॉस, उसमें आप अपना पिच हाई करो, देन अगेन ब्रिंग इट बैक टू नॉर्मल. रिमेंबर दिस एंड अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से, कि मैं कंटिन्यूस एक ही चीज उसी टोन में हाय 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 बोलूंगा, आई विल कम आउट एज वेरी इरिटेटिंग. नाउ डिबेट से रिलेटेड कुछ आपको क्यूज देता हूं, कुछ आपको स्मार्ट वर्क देता हूं. रेब्यूटल राउंड होगा, काउंटर होगा. काउंटर में अब अगर मैं किसी टॉपिक के फॉर बोल रहा हूं तो मेरे अगेंस्ट भी कोई लोग बोल रहे हैं. यस, नाउ वो जो अगेंस्ट में बोलने वाला है, हाउ कैन आई प्री प्रिपेयर माई सेल्फ? अभी से मैं कैसे खुद को प्रिपेयर कर लूं? यार आप लोग एआई की दुनिया में रह रहे हो. एआई में आप अगर कोई भी चीज डालते हो ना, कोई भी टॉपिक, राइट, इफ यू पुट आउट एनी टॉपिक, आपको एआई, मेरे से ज्यादा मेरे को लगता है आप लोग को एआई यूज करना आता होगा. इवन इफ यू हैव द फाइनल 5 मिनट्स इन हैंड, एआई में अगर आप डालते हो वॉट एवर द टॉपिक XYZ, अगेंस्ट या फॉर, आपको पूरे टॉपिक्स आ जाएंगे. You will get any point that you want, and आपको अगर वो 10 पॉइंट देता है, just go through those 10 points. हर पॉइंट जब आप देखते हो कि मैं फॉर बोल रहा हूं, अगेंस्ट में ये पॉइंट बोल रहा है, प्रिपेयर अ 20-second स्पीच और अ पॉइंट फॉर दैट काउंटर. तो आप पहले से प्री प्रिपेयर भी कर सकते हो, आप पहले से प्री प्रिपेयर भी कर सकते हो उसके लिए. ऑल्सो आपका जो भी टॉपिक है उसमें अब आपने अगर फॉर बोला है, अगेंस्ट बोला है, जो भी बोला है, इसमें जजेस भी आपको कुछ पूछ सकते हैं. जजेस पूछ सकते हैं तो अगेंस्ट, फॉर एंड अगेंस्ट वो टॉपिक डालो, फॉर पॉइंट्स, अगेंस्ट पॉइंट्स सब डालो. जजेस का 90% चांस है कि एआई ने जितने पॉइंट्स कोट किए उसी में से किसी पॉइंट में से आपको पूछ ले. 80-90% चांस उस चीज का है. आप पहले से उसमें प्रिपेयर कर सकते हो. जैसे रुद्देश सर ने बोला, आपने मिस इंडिया, मिस वर्ल्ड, ये सब कॉम्पिटिशंस देखे होंगे. दैट वाज द एग्जैक्ट थिंग आई वाज गोना कोट. बट ये मिस इंडिया, मिस वर्ल्ड के लिए ना, इनको पहले से एआई का तो फीचर अवेलेबल नहीं था, और इनको तो ये भी नहीं पता रहता है इनको किस चीज के बारे में क्वेश्चन पूछे जाएंगे. बट आपको ये टॉपिक पता है, टॉपिक से रिलेटेड आपके क्वेश्चन पूछे जाएंगे. सो वो टॉपिक अगर आपको एआई पे पूरा मिलता है, देयर इज चैट जीपीटी, देयर इज बार्ड, देयर इज जेमिनाई, देयर इज एवरीथिंग ना. ठीक है, हर तरह का एआई है. अगर आप iOS वाले हो, देयर इज एप्पल इंटेलिजेंस एंड व्हाट नॉट. ठीक है, सो यू हैव ऑल दीज टूल्स, मेक द मोस्ट ऑफ इट. आप भले ही फॉर सारी चीजें पढ़ रहे हो, यू आर इन फेवर ऑफ द टॉपिक, तो आप फॉर की चीजों में सारी चीजें बोलोगे, बट अगेंस्ट वाली चीजें भी पूरी पढ़ लो, अभी से पढ़ लो. रीजन बीइंग कि आप जब अभी से अगर वो पढ़ते हो तो आपको अपनी स्पीच में जो इनिशियल 3 मिनट्स की स्पीच है उसमें भी ऑलरेडी आप काउंटर पॉइंट्स डाल सकते हो. बट मेक श्योर आप जो 3 मिनट की स्पीच देते हो उसमें अगेंस्ट के काउंटर से ज्यादा आपके फॉर वाले पॉइंट्स होने चाहिए. ठीक है, व्हेन यू प्रिपेयर अ स्पीच, मोर देन जस्ट countering the points against the topic, if you are speaking in favor, more than just countering the points against the topic, you are making it more believable. ठीक है, 2-3 पॉइंट्स काउंटर भी कर दो अपने 3 मिनट की स्पीच में, बट अगेन more believable, more believable, more believable. Believe me, believe me, believe me, believe me. वो ज्यादा पॉइंट्स होने चाहिए, अगेंस्ट थोड़े कम होने चाहिए. ठीक है, वो होने चाहिए, बट 3 मिनट में से आपने 40-50 सेकंड भी ये बोल दिया ना, अगेंस्ट को काउंटर करने के पॉइंट्स बहुत है. आपको बाकी 2 मिनट 10 सेकंड जो है वो पूरे फेवर में बोलना है. ओके, यस. नाउ कमिंग टू द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक, दैट इज द पिच डेस्क. ठीक है, नाउ दिस इज अ वेरी 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 इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. एंड लाइक पर्सनली तो जब मुझे ये पता चला यार आप लोग पिच डेस्क की अपॉर्चुनिटी आप लोग को मिल रही, तो मुझे यही था यार, जितेंद्र सर मेरे टाइम पे चेयरमैन क्यों नहीं थे, राइट? ये इवेंट मेरे टाइम पे क्यों नहीं हुआ? आई एम सो एक्साइटेड फॉर दिस इवेंट. पिच डेस्क इज समथिंग अनबिलीवेबल, एंड आफ्टर शार्क टैंक तो यू ऑल गाइज नो व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इट इज एंड हाउ एक्साइटिंग कैन इट बी, right? And 2-3 people in Shark Tank like Ashneer Grover, a panelist again, and participants like that hair product wali lady, I'm forgetting her name, jo Malkin ke naam se famous hai, right? All of these people have made it so famous. And yes, ye ek aisi cheez hai, niche hair, yes, I should be remembering niche hair considering my hairline. So that's a product that can be very useful for me. I should not be forgetting her name. Okay, my bad over here. So yes, Parul Gulati niche hair. Okay, amazing. See, everybody knows it. So it's like now you know, आपने एक्चुअली प्रैक्टिकली वो चीज देखा है कि हाउ टू मेक अ पिच. ठीक है, नाउ अगेन आप लोग क्या करने वाले हो, आप लोग यहाँ पे एक सिनेरियो जो क्रिएट करने वाले हो, दैट इज नॉट एन एक्चुअल सिनेरियो, बट यू हैव टू मेक द सिनेरियो वेरी मच बिलीवेबल. तो इसमें क्या करना है, आप जैसे जो टीम हो, से फॉर एग्जाम्पल द टीम इज मी एंड रुद्रेश सर. ठीक है, सो वेरी फर्स्ट थिंग दैट आई नीड टू गो एंड डू इन द फर्स्ट 20-30 सेकेंड्स अगेन इज द फर्स्ट इंप्रेशन. जैसे मैंने डिबेट में बोला, जैसे रुद्रेश सर आपको एलिक्यूशन की बात कर रहे थे, तो इट्स लाइक व्हाट यू हैव टू डू इज मेक द फर्स्ट इंप्रेशन. अब अगेन मैं जब जाता हूं ना, व्हाट आई एम वेयरिंग इज द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट विल डिसाइड हाउ आई एम स्टैंडिंग, व्हाट आई एम वेयरिंग, हाउ आई एम कमिंग अक्रॉस. नाउ इफ यू सी, आपने ये चीज देखा होगा, जब हमारा स्पीकर इंट्रोडक्शन हो रहा था, रुद्रेश सर का फोटो, मेरा जब इंट्रोडक्शन हो रहा था, मेरा फोटो. इफ यू सी बोथ दीज फोटोज, इट्स लाइक हमने कोई ऐसा ही फोटो नहीं दे दिया, नॉर्मल रैंडम स्टैंडिंग. द फोटो गिवन बाय द स्पीकर्स इज अ वेरी कॉन्शियस डिसीजन. एंड व्हाई सो? लाइक इफ आई टॉक अबाउट माय पर्सनल फोटो, आई एम स्टैंडिंग seeing you, like my eyes are straight seeing you, I am chest open and my hands are like थोड़े से ऐसे बंधे हुए भी, and I'm ऐसा थोड़ा chest के नीचे भी है. मतलब मेरे फोटो में मैंने ऐसा भी नहीं रखा है, that comes across as very this thing conserved person. I'm coming out as very confident is what I'm trying to give an image. आपको पिच रखते वक्त आप क्या करना चाहते हो, वहां पे सामने वाले को बोलना चाहते हो, भाई 1 करोड़ रुपए मेरे धंधे में इन्वेस्ट कर, इन्वेस्ट इन माई बिजनेस, बिलीव इन मी. अब आज अगर मैं बोलूं, से फॉर एग्जाम्पल आई एम डूइंग अ बिजनेस, आई वांट समबडी, a person with crores and crores of rupees to believe in my business. He first has to believe in me. So make sure कि आप जब वहां पे जाते हो, so you are dressed up perfect, you are dressed up presentable, you are dressed up confident, right? Your shoes, everything, right from your single strand of hair up until your shoes, you are ready to make a presentation for crores and crores of rupees. You are wanting that other person to first believe in you. आप पे believe करेगा तो आपके business पे believe करेगा, आपकी idea पे believe करेगा वो. So everything has to be top notch. First your presentation. Second, अब believe करने के लिए चलो, उसको मैं तो पसंद आ गया, उनको individually रुद्रेश भाई पसंद आ गए, but now what next? Now he has to know whether these two gel together. ये क्या साथ में इनका कोई ऐसा स्ट्रक्चर है क्या कि ये दोनों साथ में काम कर पाएंगे? तो उसके लिए वी नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई लीडरशिप. अगेन दिस इज द फर्स्ट पॉइंट. मैं जब जाता हूं, रुद्रेश भाई जब जाते हैं, एज ए टीम जाते हैं, तो हमने ये वेरी क्लियर लीडरशिप आइडेंटिफाई करना है. रुद्रेश सर इज द फाउंडर ऑफ दिस बिजनेस, आई एम द को फाउंडर, he is the MD, I am the CFO. Whatever the roles are, we need to identify that then and there. So सामने वाले को समझना चाहिए, yes, they have a very clear definition, their hierarchy is set. ऐसा नहीं हमारा आइडिया है हम साथ मिलके करेंगे, नहीं, we are best friends and we have a very good understanding so we'll manage it. No, who is responsible for what, who is at the top, who is second one has to, आप best friends होंगे, but if you are second you have to listen to the first. So first get all of these things cleared in your head. And if I am the judge, I am the panelist, and you are not clear regarding that, my first question will be, who will listen to whom? Who will be reporting to me? If I am the investor, I need reporting from one. मैं दोनों को लेके साथ में नहीं बैठूंगा, फिर एक बोलेगा नहीं हम दोनों का साथ में था, बट उस दिन उसको ये काम था, मेरे को ये काम था, now we have not done it. I will take reporting from one. Who is at the top? Who will be reporting? Who will be taking reporting from every other person? ये आपको हायरार्की क्लियर करना सबसे ज्यादा जरूरी है. नेक्स्ट, दो चीजें आपने क्लियर की खुद में बिलीव करने के लिए. फर्स्ट इज इंडिविजुअल, सेकंड इज टीम. थर्ड इज कि हमारा बिजनेस एकदम सिस्टमैटिक है, और वो आप कैसे प्रेजेंट करोगे? थ्रू योर पीपीटी. इफ यू रिमेंबर, आई विल अगेन कोट अ प्रैक्टिकल एग्जांपल इन शार्क टैंक. शार्क टैंक में जोमैटो का सीईओ दीपिंदर गोयल, जब एक शार्क था, एक कोई तो भी बिजनेस आया था, एंड व्हाट दे वर प्रेजेंटिंग, उसमें स्पेलिंग मिस्टेक्स थी, फोन नंबर गलत था. दिस शुड अगेन नॉट हैपन विथ यू. आपने अपने बिजनेस का जो भी आइडिया है एकदम डायरेक्ट प्रेजेंट करना है, एकदम अच्छे से प्रेजेंट करना है. योर हु ऑल आर इन्वॉल्व, उनका नाम क्लियरली होना चाहिए, बिजनेस का नाम क्लियर होना चाहिए, आपका फोन नंबर मेंशन होना चाहिए, आपका ईमेल आईडी मेंशन होना चाहिए कि आपको अगर हमें कांटेक्ट करना है, दिस इज वेयर यू कैन कांटेक्ट अस. एवरीथिंग शुड बी क्लियरली मेंशन्ड. कस्टमर केयर का ये नंबर है, से फॉर एग्जांपल ऑर्डर प्लेस करना है, उसका ये नंबर है. आपको कोई भी क्वेरी है, सर्विस सपोर्ट चाहिए वाया ईमेल, तो ये आपका एक्चुअल ईमेल डाल दो उसमें, आपके एक्चुअल नंबर्स डालो उसमें. ठीक है, इट शुड कम आउट एज टोटली 101% रियलिस्टिक. ऐसा नहीं लगना चाहिए कि बच्चा एक आइडिया प्रेजेंट कर रहा है. ठीक है, ये बच्चा एक आइडिया प्रेजेंट कर रहा है, वैसा नहीं लगना चाहिए. इट शुड कम आउट बच्चा ये बिजनेस कर रहा है, स्टूडेंट इज डूइंग दिस इन रियलिटी. This is the first point. Now, second thing, make sure आपकी जो आइडिया है ना, if it is something believable and out of the box, very good. But again, I say, first thing should be believable. It shouldn't be very fancy. In the world of Zomato and Swiggy, now the thing that is happening is we just look at some things that are fancy. No. An investor with 1 crore rupees who's ready to invest 1 crore rupees with you is not necessarily looking for things that are fancy. He's looking for things जो उसके 1 करोड़ को 10 करोड़ में कन्वर्ट करेगा. Right? ठीक है? So it's not कि your idea has to be fancy, fancy, fancy and super fancy that will make the judge or the panelist believe in you. Normal solution problem हो सकती है. Say for example, I am a teacher, मेरे सामने कैलकुलेटर पड़ा रहता है. Calculator with AI. अभी कैलकुलेटर है, खाली टाइप करते जाओ, इसमें बोल बोल के मैं जैसे जैसे बोलूंगा, एडिशन बोलूंगा, एडिशन के बाद नंबर्स आएंगे. सो दिस इज माय आइडिया. तो ये आइडिया मेरी क्या है? व्हाट वाज द प्रॉब्लम? आई एम अ सीए स्टूडेंट एंड एवरी टाइम आई एम प्रैक्टिसिंग एट होम. मैं लिखते रहता हूं, बट लिखने के साथ साथ नाउ आई हैव टू डेडिकेट माय टाइम टू टाइपिंग. ठीक है, यस, डेडिकेट माय टाइम टू टाइपिंग. अब इसमें ये चीज कैसे, प्रॉब्लम क्या थी, हाउ वी आर सॉल्विंग इट, सॉल्व कर रहे हैं, तो इसका टारगेट मार्केट क्या है. नाउ कम टू द बिजनेस एंड ऑफ इट. पहले आपने आपकी टीम का पूरा यहाँ पे अच्छे से प्रेजेंटेशन दिया, अब बिजनेस का अच्छे से प्रेजेंटेशन दो. ठीक है, नाउ वी हैव प्रिपेयर्ड अ प्रोडक्ट पूरा अच्छे से प्रिपेयर हो चुका है, उसका अब मार्केट इतना है, दिस इज आवर सेल्स फॉर द प्रोडक्ट एंड एवरीथिंग. ये हमारे प्रोडक्ट का सेल्स है. नाउ अपने बिजनेस की सारी बातें करो. ठीक है, व्हाट इज द मार्केट, व्हाट इज द सोर्स ऑफ सेलिंग इट. ऑनलाइन हम सेल कर रहे हैं थ्रू वेबसाइट, या हमारे ऑफलाइन स्टोर्स है, दिस दैट ये वो सब. स्मार्ट ग्लासेस, जैसे मेरे चश्मे हैं, तो चश्मे के साथ इफ आई एम लुकिंग कंटिन्यूसली एट समथिंग, माय ग्लासेस शुड आल्सो बी लुकिंग एट देम. जो अभी मार्केट में आया है, योर ग्लासेस कीप ऑन कैप्चरिंग इंफॉर्मेशन. दिस इज व्हाट वी मेड. व्हाट इज द टारगेट मार्केट? पूरी दुनिया इज द टारगेट मार्केट. हाउ मेनी पीपल इन वर्ल्ड वेयर स्पेक्स, तो वर्ल्ड का पॉपुलेशन एंड उसमें से कितने परसेंट वेयर करते, तो दैट इज द टारगेट मार्केट. उसमें से इंडिया में लेके आओ कि इंडिया में इतने लोग स्पेक्स पहनते, इंडिया में से हम इस रीजन से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. सो दिस इज व्हाट वी आर स्टार्टिंग विद. मेक इट बिलीवेबल. जस्ट डोंट से रैंडम फैक्ट्स कि हम लोग कर रहे, वर्ल्ड में इतने लोग हैं. अरे पर वर्ल्ड में इतने लोग तक पहुंचने तक व्हाट इज द सोर्स यू हैव. आजकल अपनी जनरेशन में देयर इज अ थिंग, नॉट जस्ट आवर जनरेशन, आई विल से इन दिस एरा, there is a thing about fitness, there is a thing about protein supplements. आपने अगर सुना होगा, there is a very latest protein supplement called Super U, जिसमें रणवीर सिंह is there, किशोर बियानी is there, निखिल कामत is there, जीरोधा. Yes, so all of these have created a protein supplement. So what are they doing? First, problem identify कराओ. प्रॉब्लम क्या है? इंडिया वेजिटेरियन पीपल के पास प्रोटीन नेचुरली आता नहीं है बहुत खाने से. प्रोटीन डेफिशिएंसी बहुत है. सो फर्स्ट आइडेंटिफाई द प्रॉब्लम को आइडेंटिफाई किया, व्हाट इज द सॉल्यूशन दैट यू आर प्रोवाइडिंग. और अभी तक क्यों कोई वो सॉल्यूशन नहीं दे पाया. हम जो सॉल्यूशन दे रहे हैं नाउ, सुपर यू, इफ अ चॉकलेट यू से, इफ यू ट्राई इट, आप ऑर्डर करना, एक 60 रुपीज का वो एक चॉकलेट आता है, इट जस्ट टेस्ट लाइक ये पर्क चॉकलेट होती है ना वैसा, बट उसमें 10 ग्राम्स प्रोटीन होता है. तो हाउ इज दिस प्रॉब्लम बीइंग सॉल्व्ड बाय सुपर यू. अभी तक जो भी प्रोटीन सप्लीमेंट्स है, नॉट टेस्टी एट ऑल. उसको अगर कंज्यूम करो, वेरी हैवी. उसको अगर कंज्यूम करने जाओ, वेरी एक्सपेंसिव. व्हाट वी हैव डन, मेड इट टेस्टी, मेड इट कैरी, इजी टू कैरी, पॉकेट में लेके चले जाओ, नॉट वेरी एक्सपेंसिव, अफोर्डेबल बाय एवरीबडी. किसी दिन अगर आप कोई मील स्किप कर दो, एक ये खा लो, तो इट इज सफिशिएंटली इनफ, आप एकदम भूखे नहीं रहोगे. राइट. सो यू फर्स्ट हैव टू आइडेंटिफाई द प्रॉब्लम. आपको क्या प्रॉब्लम हुई, यू शुड पर्सनली फील दैट प्रॉब्लम, कि हमारे लाइफ में ये प्रॉब्लम थी, ये प्रॉब्लम के सॉल्यूशन पे है, तो मार्केट में और कोई ये सॉल्यूशन क्यों प्रोवाइड नहीं कर रहा है, और हमारा प्रोडक्ट ये सॉल्यूशन कैसे प्रोवाइड कर रहा है. दैट इज द सेकेंड थिंग. ठीक है. अब इसके बाद नाउ यू मूव ऑन टू द फाइनेंशियल्स, एंड फाइनेंशियल्स में देयर आर अ फ्यू पॉइंट्स दैट यू नीड टू नोट. फर्स्ट पॉइंट, रेवेन्यू. ठीक है. सेकेंड पॉइंट इज ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन और एबिटा. ठीक है. ये शब्द आपने सुने होंगे. ठीक है. अगेन, गो एंड डू सम रिसर्च ऑन व्हाट ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन इज, व्हाट एबिटा इज. दीज आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स. ठीक है. एंड आप जो भी प्रोडक्ट प्रेजेंट करने वाले हो, उसके रियलिस्टिक फाइनेंशियल्स पढ़ो. एवरीथिंग इज अवेलेबल ऑनलाइन. ऑनलाइन अगर मैं आपको बोलूं, लिस्टेड कंपनीज है, आप अगर कोई चीज प्रेजेंट कर रहे होंगे, हाई चांसेस है कोई ना कोई लिस्टेड कंपनी के फाइनेंशियल्स उससे रिलेटेड मिल जाएंगे. ठीक है. सो जस्ट गो एंड रिसर्च. कहां मिलेंगे, देयर इज अ वेबसाइट कॉल्ड screener.in. स्क्रीनर पे जाओ या बीएससी की वेबसाइट पे जाओ, आपको कहीं ना कहीं मिल जाएगा. ठीक है. स्क्रीनर की वेबसाइट पे जाओगे तो यू विल गेट एवरीथिंग इन डिटेल. बीएससी की वेबसाइट पे जाओगे तो थोड़ा सा आपको उसमें से एक्सट्रैक्ट करना पड़ेगा. तो ये नोट डाउन कर लेना. screener.in है बीएससी की वेबसाइट. अपन सबको बीएससी तो सभी को पता होगा, बीइंग सीए स्टूडेंट्स, तो उसकी वेबसाइट पे आपको मिल जाएगा. ठीक है. फाइनेंशियल्स जाओ, फाइनेंशियल्स रीड करो, हाउ दोस कंपनीज आर प्रेजेंटिंग डेटा. वो कंपनीज, क्योंकि उनके पास यार पूरे अकाउंटिंग स्टैंडर्ड्स, एनडीएस वगैरह सब फॉलो कर रहे हैं, तो देयर फाइनेंशियल्स आर टॉप नॉच. राइट. स्क्रीनर पे जाओगे ना, तो स्क्रीनर कैसे डेटा प्रेजेंट करके देता है इन्वेस्टर्स को. टुडे आई एम एन इन्वेस्टर, इफ आई वांट टू इन्वेस्ट इन सम एक्स कंपनी, मैं स्क्रीनर पे जाके एनालाइज करता हूं. तो स्क्रीनर इज प्रेजेंटिंग डेटा हाउ द इन्वेस्टर्स वांट टू सी इट. तो वो चीज देखोगे तो आपको समझेगा आपके फाइनेंशियल्स कैसे आने चाहिए. राइट. नाउ फाइनेंशियल्स में नेट प्रॉफिट इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट. नेट प्रॉफिट के बाद आपका एक चीज आता है, क्या चीज, operating profit margin is a very important point. EBITDA is a very important point. Do not focus much on the net profit. Focus much on these three things. ये चीजों पे फोकस करोगे, बिकॉज नेट प्रॉफिट आपका कोई भी चीज से आ सकता है. आपने इन्वेस्ट किया, मेरा बिजनेस में प्रोटीन की आइडिया पिच कर रहा हूं, प्रोटीन बार, ठीक है, और अ प्रोटीन शेक और अ प्रोटीन पाउडर, वॉट एवर आई एम पिचिंग दैट. बट मेरा अगर नेट प्रॉफिट की मैं बात करूं, तो नेट प्रॉफिट कैन बी इंटरेस्ट ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट्स और गेन ऑन सेल ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट्स. नेट प्रॉफिट इज नॉट द पॉइंट टू बी प्रेजेंटेड. द थिंग इज रेवेन्यू, द थिंग इज एबिटा और ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन. ठीक है. दीज आर द पॉइंट्स यू हैव टू फोकस ऑन. ये आपने एक बार अभी तक के फाइनेंशियल्स प्रेजेंट किए. नाउ कमिंग टू द फोर्थ पॉइंट. फोर्थ पॉइंट आपकी क्या रहेगी, नाउ हाउ विल यू स्केल द बिजनेस. अभी तक आपने टीम के बारे में बताया, खुद के बारे में, टीम के बारे में, व्हाट वाज द प्रॉब्लम एंड हाउ यू फाउंड द सॉल्यूशन टू इट, एंड आप जो सॉल्यूशन दे रहे हो कोई और क्यों नहीं दे रहा है. उसके बाद आप फाइनेंशियल्स पे आओ, अब स्केलेबिलिटी पे आओ, हाउ वी विल टेक इट टू द नेक्स्ट लेवल. ये स्केलेबिलिटी पे अब नेक्स्ट में क्या करूंगा, इन लोग के साथ टाई अप करूंगा. अब स्केलेबिलिटी के टाइम पे व्हाट यू कैन से कि सर आपसे जो मैं पैसा मांग रहा हूं वो मैं मार्केटिंग के लिए यूज करने वाला हूं, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन के लिए यूज करने वाला हूं, प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट के लिए यूज करने वाला हूं. द बेस्ट आंसर्स, मैं अपना मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, प्रोडक्ट डेवलपमेंट स्केल करने वाला हूं, डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन बढ़ाने वाला हूं, मैं अपना यहाँ पे क्या चीज करने वाला हूं, मैं अपना यहाँ पे मार्केटिंग, लोगों में अवेयरनेस बढ़ाने वाला हूं. These are the three best possible answers. कोई भी एक इन्वेस्टर को सुनने में जो मजा आएगा. इसमें एक पॉइंट मैं आपको बोलूंगा, दिस कैन बी एन हिडन पॉइंट एंड इफ आई एम द इन्वेस्टर आई विल लुक एट इट. आप जब फाइनेंशियल्स की बात करोगे ना, तो मैं अगर आपको पूछूंगा बेटा आप लोग कितना खुद के लिए पैसा विड्रॉ कर रहे हो, यू आर वर्किंग फॉर द कंपनी सो यू विल टेक सम मनी होम ना. इट हैज टू बी ए रीजनेबल अमाउंट, नॉट अ बिग अमाउंट. एंड ये एक प्रैक्टिकल पॉइंट है, शो करना चाहिए कि भैया मैं कंपनी के लिए काम कर रहा हूं. ये नहीं बोलना मैं कुछ पैसा ही नहीं ले रहा खुद के लिए, मैं तो आई एम गुड, घर पे बहुत पैसा है, पप्पा कमा रहे, मेरे को जरूरत नो. Be practical regarding it, but it shouldn't be a very good a very big amount. डिसेंट अमाउंट होना चाहिए. वो भी इन्वेस्टर के लिए क्यों जरूरी है कि इन्वेस्टर अब आपकी कंपनी में पैसा डाल रहे हैं, अब वो पैसा डाल रहे हैं और आप उसमें से सैलरी बड़ी बड़ी घर लेके जा रहे हो. नॉट एडवाइजेबल, नॉट एडवाइजेबल. ठीक है. सो हमारे 4 पॉइंट्स हुए. चौथा था स्केलेबिलिटी. नाउ स्केलेबिलिटी के बाद आप फिफ्थ पॉइंट पे, जो फिफ्थ पॉइंट इज रिगार्डिंग एवरीथिंग दैट यू हैव डन टिल नाउ, आप उसके लिए एक प्रेजेंटेशन दोगे ना, पीपीटी क्रिएट करोगे, कैनवा क्रिएट करोगे. माय एडवाइस विल बी, जो भी प्रेजेंटेशन हो क्रिस्प इंफॉर्मेशन का होना चाहिए, एंड इट शुड बी टू मच फिल्ड विथ डेटा 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 डेटा. नाउ मैं अगर अपना बैकग्राउंड बोलूं ना, दिस बैकग्राउंड आई जस्ट सिलेक्टेड फॉर दिस पर्पस. ये बैकग्राउंड जो मैंने सिलेक्ट किया वो आपको बस एक चीज यहां पे समझाने के लिए किया. इफ यू सी दिस बैकग्राउंड, काम है, सूदिंग है, नॉट टू मच डेटा 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 डेटा. मतलब इसमें ऐसा नहीं है यहां पे भी फोटो फ्रेम डाल दी, यहां पे भी कुछ डाल दिया, बस 2-4 चीजें, सिंपल सिंपल चीजें, हो गया. तो वैसा ही आपका भी पीपीटी होना चाहिए. प्रिसाइज एंड क्रिस्प डेटा, दैट्स इट. इट डजंट हैव टू बी ये भी डाल दे, ये भी डाल दे. मतलब आज अगर मैं इन्वेस्टर हूं और मैं आपकी स्लाइड की तरफ देख रहा हूं तो मेरे को ऐसा दिख रहा है भाई कहां देखो कितनी सारी चीजें. नो नो, आपने इन्वेस्टर को टू द पॉइंट क्रिस्प इंफॉर्मेशन देनी है. अब सिंपल मैं आपको बोलता हूं, से फॉर एग्जांपल यू आर वर्किंग फॉर मुकेश अंबानी जी. मुकेश अंबानी जी को आप अगर कोई डेटा प्रेजेंट कर रहे हो तो क्या आप वो एक स्लाइड अगर बना रहे हो तो स्लाइड में आप 100 पॉइंट डालोगे या उसको 5 पॉइंट में कंसाइज करोगे? 5 पॉइंट्स. मुकेश जी डजंट हैव द टाइम टू गो थ्रू 100 पॉइंट्स. Same way, you have to just present those 5 points over here. You have to just present those 5 points over here. Okay? Yes, so that is what you have to focus on over here. ठीक है. So these are the 5 points for pitch desk जो मेरे end से है, जो आपने यहाँ पे ध्यान रखना चाहिए. Okay? Yes, so that is it from me. And yes, Vikasa team, now we can open the session for question answer round. एंड बच्चे पूछ सकते हैं जो भी क्वेश्चंस है रुद्रेश सर से, मुझसे. राइट. एंड यस, नैनिल, कृतिका एंड टीम विकासा. यस. ओके.
So as the sir has said, everyone can start asking the questions.
I think some questions have come, sir, for mainly essay writing. Anything essay or quiz के लिए सर कुछ आ रहा है? You want to?
ऐसे में yes, ऐसे hasn't been addressed much. अब ऐसे की आपको लिमिट मेरे ख्याल से, if I'm not wrong, it is around 1500 words, if I'm not wrong. Yes, just correct me. 1500 या 2000 के बीच में कुछ था. So what I say is when if you are given 1500 words ना, आपका एक आप जो पहले से एक ड्राफ्ट भी तैयार करना चालू करो ना, कीप इट अराउंड 1350 to 1400 वर्ड्स. रादर मैं उसको बोलता हूं 1350 पे इसलिए करना क्योंकि वंस वो ड्राफ्ट को आप फाइनलाइज करने लगोगे आपके माइंड में, देन कुछ एडिशन अगर और करना है तो यू हैव स्कोप लेफ्ट फॉर इट. सो फर्स्ट प्लान ओनली फॉर 1300 to 1350 वर्ड्स मैक्स. ऐसे में एक चीज मैं आपको बहुत पर्सनली यहाँ पे बोलूंगा, माई सजेशन विल बी दैट आई डिड व्हेन आई वाज इन क्लास 12th, एंड दैट इज वन पॉइंट जो ऐसे मेरे को क्लास 12th में जाने के बाद समझा यार एग्जैक्टली क्या लिखना उसमें. ऐसे में अगर आप पर्सनल टच डालोगे ना तो इट विल वर्क वेरी वेल फॉर यू. मुझे आज भी याद है वो क्लास 12th का मेरा टॉपिक क्या था. व्हाट इफ देयर वाज नो लैंग्वेज. दैट वाज द हेडिंग, द टाइटल जिसपे ऐसे लिखना था. तो अब मैं पहले सोच रहा था यार ऐसे में लिखूं क्या, व्हाट इफ देयर वाज नो लैंग्वेज. तो मैंने बोला इमेजिन if we would have to communicate through eyes or nose or tongue. मतलब मुझे ऐसा लगा यार ये बहुत stupid point तो नहीं हो जाएगा, but then I wrote this point कि imagine if humans would have to communicate through nose and tongue as a combination, or eyes, nose, tongue as a combination, or just by using hand signals. और उसको मैंने थोड़ा सा elaborate किया, right? So what I gave it was a personal touch. And my teacher, who was like some PhD in English or something like that, I don't exactly know, but she was that English teacher जिनसे स्कूल में सभी लोग ऐसा था यार ये इंग्लिश टीचर है मतलब तुम्हारे इंग्लिश में तो मार्क्स ही नहीं आने वाले. She gave me 8.5 on 10 for that particular essay, and she made me read that essay in front of everybody. She called me and she was like, read your essay in front of the entire class. अब मेरे को पहले तो ऐसा लगा यार ये क्यों. At that time I did not know I was getting 8.5 on 10, but I was like अबे यार तेजस ये बहुत गलत आइडिया तूने यूज कर लिया. When she gave me the paper and I saw the marks, 8.5 on 10, फिर मेरे को शांति लगी. Okay, and what she told me at that point कि whenever you are writing an essay, what you have to do is make sure your personal touch is involved, because mainly in a topic everybody data mines. Data mining तो सभी लोग करते, and everybody just puts that data सिस्टमैटिक तरीके से. बोले जनरली व्हाट वी लुक फॉर इन एन ऐसे व्हेन वी इवैल्यूएट ना इज, हमको पता है सबका डेटा सेम रहेगा, किसने ज्यादा अच्छे से प्रेजेंट किया. व्हाट शी सेड, इन योर ऐसे देयर वाज अ थिंग कॉल्ड पर्सनल टच, लाइक हाउ यू आर सीइंग द प्रॉब्लम, हाउ यू आर सॉल्विंग द प्रॉब्लम, एंड प्रॉब्लम का साइटिंग एंड सॉल्यूशन. ये कोई भी टॉपिक हो, आपको एक प्रॉब्लम रहेगा, एक सॉल्यूशन रहेगा, यू विल बी प्रेजेंटिंग दैट. ठीक है, तो उसमें अपना पर्सनल टच लाइए. मेक श्योर यू गिव योर पर्सनल टच इन दैट ऐसे. पर्सनल टच का पैरा ऑल टुगेदर सेपरेट रखिए. आप जैसे एक लॉ में कोई आंसर प्रेजेंट करते हो ना, फर्स्ट यू कोट द सेक्शन सबसेक्शन दिस थिंग, उसके बाद आप क्या चीज करते हो, सेक्शन सबसेक्शन के बाद आप फिर कोट का, आप फिर जो केस स्टडी है उसको अलग से प्रेजेंट करते हो. तो सिमिलरली वो जिस टॉपिक पे ऐसे उस पे आपने इंट्रोडक्शन दिया, देन यू मूव टुवर्ड्स द बॉडी पार्ट ऑफ इट कि व्हाट इज दिस टॉपिक, दिस दैट, ये टॉपिक का आज से क्या रिलेवेंस है, हाउ इज दिस यूजफुल और दिस दैट, ये वो. उसमें अपने पर्सनल टच का पैरा ऑल टुगेदर सेपरेट रखिए. ठीक है, एंड अगेन वो पर्सनल टच वाला जो पैरा है ना, उसमें मैं आपको कहता हूं देयर हैज टू बी अ फ्रेज. फ्रेजेस नाउ इंग्लिश ऐसे है तो फ्रेज हैज टू बी इन इंग्लिश. ठीक है, इंग्लिश ऐसे यू नेवर नो, बिकॉज लाइक नाउ आई नो व्हाट स्टूडेंट्स आर सेइंग, नाउ आई नो व्हाट यू गाइस आर थिंकिंग, क्योंकि यहाँ पे अपना वर्बल कम्युनिकेशन है, वहां पे यू आर नॉट वर्बली कम्युनिकेटिंग विद द रीडर जो इवैल्यूएट करेगा उसको. सो मेक श्योर कि आप इंग्लिश का सेफली इंग्लिश में ही सारी चीजें लिखो. That is very much important, but use a phrase. And again, to start with the essay भी मैं बोलूंगा, if there is a phrase, well and good. It totally draws the attention of the evaluator. Right? So these are my things. And starting में जो भी first draft तैयार करोगे, please leave a scope of 200 words for the second, third draft before finalizing. Okay? So that is my suggestion for the essay. Rudesh sir, over to you.
Yes, sir. Just a second, there were some questions.
अच्छा रुदेश सर, आप एक चीज बोलोगे ना, उसके पहले एक लास्ट पॉइंट मेरे को ध्यान आया. दिस इज
Yes, sir.
रिगार्डिंग,
Go ahead, sir.
दिस इज रिगार्डिंग एलोक्यूशन, दिस इज रिगार्डिंग डिबेट. ये मैं एड्रेस करने वाला था, भूल गया, अभी याद आया. अच्छा है, बिफोर गोइंग ऑन स्टेज मेक श्योर आपका जो भी मील्स वगैरह हो एटलीस्ट 30 to 45 मिनट्स पहले हो चुका है. डू नॉट कीप अ वेरी ड्राई थ्रोट. ठीक है, मील्स तो मैं प्रेफर करूंगा 1 घंटे पहले हो चुका है, एंड नॉट अ वेरी हैवी मील. नहीं तो स्टेज पे जाके आई एम स्पीकिंग एंड ऑल ऑफ अ सडन आई एम बर्पिंग एंड आई एम लाइक एक्सक्यूज मी एंड आई एम टेकिंग 10 seconds टू लाइक कंपोज माई सेल्फ अगेन. डू नॉट डू दैट. तो ये गलती मत कीजिए, बहुत हैवी मील मत कीजिए, 1 घंटा पहले कीजिए. वो आप 3 मिनट वहां पे प्रोडक्ट हो, यू आर अ प्रोडक्ट, यू आर प्रेजेंटिंग योर सेल्फ. तो अगर मैं आज प्रोडक्ट हूं, आज मैं या रुद्देश सर यहाँ बैठ के एक्सक्यूज मी एक्सक्यूज मी एक्सक्यूज मी ये करके ब्रेक ले, तो आपको भी सुनने में मजा नहीं आएगा. राइट? एंड ऑल्सो नाउ यू विल बी लाइक, यू मे फाइंड इट फनी, बट दिस इज वेरी साइंटिफिक एंड टेक्निकल. आपका मील जो 1 घंटे पहले करोगे, हैव हाई प्रोटीन्स लो कार्ब्स. You will be high on energy, low on laziness. ठीक है, high proteins, low carbs. आपका elocution या debate के पहले do not gulp too much water. I am nervous. ले पानी पी लिया. No, don't do that. And do not keep your throat dry also. Keep sipping water. 1 sip, 2 sip, 3 sip. That's it. तो slowly आप sip करते जाइए. That way you will be hydrated also, and you again won't be like too much heavy on water. Again, that is not advisable. ठीक है? Yes, sir.
No, I think, sir, that was, I think I missed this point. In fact, that was so specific point that you said that, no heavy meals before or no heavy water before. I think I remember during school elocutions, I used to make this mistake. ऐसा, क्योंकि तभी क्या है, 40-50 बच्चे, अपना नंबर कब आएगा पता नहीं, तो काफी बार बाद में आ रहे हैं, तो मस्त खा पी के बैठे हैं, and then used to be a problem. But I think so that is most important. I think somebody is asking quiz competitions or anything. Points for quiz.
Points for quiz. Again, it's like quiz में तो मैं एक ही चीज बोल पाऊंगा कि make the most of AI. For preparation, make the most of AI.
Correct.
है ना, make the most of AI, because quiz is most about knowledge gaining. जितना कर सकते हो, AI is the best thing. तो yeah, that is for me.
Okay. So I think quiz sir has answered. Guys, how somebody asked, how should one approach in choosing topic for elocution? Topics for elocution, I think one which you very much believe in. I think that is something that you should choose, and which you think that you can bring the best. So I know what belongs to my genre. Tejas sir will have a different genre. Somebody may have a different genre. So I think आपका जो genre में आप अच्छे से आप best prepare कर सकते हो जिसके बारे में आपको आता है. Because as we said, elocution is not just about going there and speaking, but then the Q&A also. And I think Tejas sir, we have seen that a lot of times somebody does a very good in terms of those 10 minutes of speaking, but when it comes to Q&A round, they falter. So I think that is how somebody should choose topic for elocution. Sir, any your suggestions for that?
Sorry, sir.
Somebody's asked, how should we choose topic for elocution? So I just something that you thoroughly believe in should be chosen.
Again, elocution ka, like I totally agree with what you said. Ki it has to be something I'm very comfortable with, and also I believe in it. Right? Matlab, it shouldn't be a topic I see as a third person.
True, very true.
It should be coming out as the first person. If that is the case, then it's very easy to present points.
Most important. Sir, one person has asked, what if the idea is out of the box and there is no competitor for the product? Then how can I do research about market and product for pitch deck?
If the idea is out of the box, first of all, it's good. But secondly, you just have to make sure it's believable. Out of box has to be made believable. Okay? It's like what I said, कि ये चीज अब मैंने जैसे आपको इसका एग्जांपल दिया ना, कैलकुलेटर विद एआई, आई स्पीक एंड पीपल लाइक वो कैलकुलेटर फिर पूरा अपने आप सारा टाइपिंग करते रहता है, कैलकुलेटर विद एआई. तो इसमें अब मेरे को पैनल से तो सबसे पहला क्वेश्चन ये आ सकता है कि फिर एग्जाम में इसको कैसे यूज करोगे, और एग्जाम में ये यूज नहीं कर पाओगे, देन व्हाई शुड स्टूडेंट्स यूज इट इन क्लास, है ना? सो इट्स लाइक आउट ऑफ द बॉक्स आइडिया, बट हाउ बिलीवेबल इज इट, right? And iska research, see, anything that you are saying now, say if you are saying like ab maine protein ka example diya, there are protein bars, there are protein shakes, there are protein chips, so many things, but there are no protein juices. ऐसी कोई चीज नहीं है जिससे मैं प्रोटीन जूस बनाऊं, like पानी में मिक्स कर दिया और वो जूस जैसा, नींबू पानी जैसा बन गया, something like that. So that is again out of the box. अब उसका एक तो believable का क्वेश्चन है, सेकंड उसका रिसर्च कैसे करूं? तो रिसर्च रिगार्डिंग दिस इज अवेलेबल अगेन ऑन गूगल एंड एवरीवेयर द रिसर्च इज अवेलेबल. रिसर्च का डेटा तो आपको प्लेंटी मिल जाएगा. ठीक है, साइंटिफिक रिसर्च बोलो, वॉट एवर यू वांट बिहाइंड इट. बिजनेस रिसर्च बोलो कि ये बिजनेस में कितना स्केलेबल है. साइंटिफिक रिसर्च, इज इट पॉसिबल और नॉट. रिसर्च में अगेन ये पॉइंट्स भी आने चाहिए. वन इज अ बिजनेस रिसर्च पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू कि बिजनेस में इसका स्केल कितना है, इसका ऑडियंस कितना है, राइट? एक साइंटिफिक रिसर्च वाला पॉइंट भी आता है. ठीक है, सो इफ इट्स एनी फूड कंज्यूमेबल और समथिंग लाइक दैट, दीज आर द टू रिसर्चेस यू कैन प्रेजेंट इन योर डेटा. यस सर.
Somebody's asked, in debate, should I look at my opponent while answering questions or should I look at audience? I think it has to be both. So typically, if let's say Tejas sir and me are opponent to each other and Tejas sir has asked me a question, so I need to start answering looking at Tejas sir, and then from specific to general answer I'm going, I need to look at the audience also. So I'm just trying to take the audience also, but when I'm answering the opponent's question very specifically, I need to look at the audience, look at the opponent first.
अच्छा सर, इसमें मैं एक और एक्सटेंशन
Yes sir, go ahead sir.
Now, like Rudesh sir said कि आप opponent की तरफ देख सकते हैं. Now, one suggestion. Now, this can work sometime, this can not work sometime.
Yes,
when
true.
your opponent is looking towards you now, while the opponent is answering, make sure to look dead straight in their eyes.
True.
This may take them, like distract them there from their point, right? And what I suggest, अगर मैं बोलते रहा तो मैं मेरे ओपोनेंट को ऐसा, I may be standing slanted towards him, diagonally slight, but I will not just make sure कि मैं उसी को देखते रहूं, because उससे ज्यादा मेरे को ऑडियंस को भी एड्रेस करना है. ठीक है, सो दिस इज वन थिंग आई विल मेक श्योर, क्योंकि अगर मेरा ओपोनेंट ऐसा डेड स्ट्रेट मेरे को आंख में दिखे तो दैट इज इंटिमिडेटिंग आल्सो कि भाई ये तो कुछ तैयार करके बैठा है. सो व्हेन यू आर द लिसनर, आपका सामने वाला बोल रहा है, तो यू कैन डू दिस, यू कैन यूज दिस.
No, and very well said, sir. In both the case, whether I am the questioner or I am the answerer, it is very important to look at the opposite party, because let's say if Tejas sir is asking me question and if I'm not listening to him, looking at him, the audience, the judge is going to feel कि भाई ये तो सुन ही नहीं रहा है इसको. Or even if I'm asking question to Tejas sir, I'm not looking at him and asking, then it will feel कि इसे पूछने के लिए पूछ रहा है, and you're not actually wanting to get an answer or a clarification. So as you rightly said, very much needed. Somebody is in debate when another participant is asking the question, rebuttal, giving his speech. If there is no podium, how should you stand professionally? You should just stand naturally. There is no, very specific. Don't put. Of course, you should never put hands in the pocket, or just don't put in the backside and stand. You're not like standing in those one line. Just stand naturally, normally the way you are. Just that move. Don't keep on moving. A lot of people end up just moving to and fro, coming to nearer to the opponent. So I think that needs to avoid. Sir, there's one question regarding pitch deck. Sir, in pitch, we have a product which is not in market. So what we need to take care in financials?
Projected financials. Then you can present the projected, what you project, what you think कि क्या होगा अगर मार्केट, आप मार्केट साइज कुछ एक्स प्रेजेंट करते हैं तो वो एक्स मार्केट साइज में से इन 2 years वी कैन कैप्चर 0.5x, वो 0.5x को कैप्चर करेंगे, हमारा पर यूनिट सेल इतना होगा, तो पर यूनिट सेल के बेसिस पे रेवेन्यू इतना होगा, इसका रेवेन्यू जो है उसमें से हमारा ग्रॉस प्रॉफिट या रादर ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन इतना बनता है. सो प्रोजेक्टेड फाइनेंशियल्स इज व्हाट यू हैव टू प्रेजेंट. ठीक है. अगेन व्हाट आई से इज जो मार्जिन वगैरह है ना, उसके लिए यू सर्च. आप कोई भी प्रोडक्ट जो अभी तक मार्केट में नहीं आया है बट आपको उसके मटेरियल से रिलेटेड कॉस्टिंग तो मिल जाएगी ऑन इंटरनेट. सो आप मटेरियल्स की कॉस्टिंग वगैरह निकालिए, बिकॉज व्हेन यू से कि मैं अगर उसको 100 रुपीज में बेचूंगा एंड माई ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट मार्जिन इज 60-70%, तो मैं तो सीधा काउंटर करूंगा कि भैया उतना तो हमारे टीचिंग इंडस्ट्री में नहीं है ऑपरेटिंग प्रॉफिट, सर्विस सेक्टर में उतना नहीं है, तो तुम मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में कहां से ला रहे हो, और ला रहे हो तो फिर पूरी दुनिया क्यों नहीं कर रही है, व्हाई हैव बिग पीपल नॉट आइडेंटिफाइड येट. तो मेक इट बिलीवेबल, उसके लिए थोड़ा सा रिसर्च अच्छे से कीजिए. यस सर.
Harshal, regarding personal vehicle reimbursement and everything, you can get in touch to the respective WICASA, depending on which branch you are from. Just get in touch with the branch or the WICASA WRC MCMs. They'll guide you. Keshvi, when will the event of debate competition? The branch level is already done. If you're from Mumbai, it is already done. I think a lot of branches already done. Just check up with your respective branch, depending on which branch you are from. Competition. Any suggestion in terms of past competition that are conducted, where could we refer? Past competitions ka kuch videos may be available on some WRC channel or on your branch YouTube channel, or may not be, because not necessarily that gets recorded. You could just get in touch with students who have won, get on LinkedIn, on on these groups also. I'm sure the WICASA teams would help you. Keshvi, how should you prepare for any debate elocution? I think that's what me and Tejas sir have covered since 10 o'clock in the morning. So I hope you've listened to this. I think this has been also recorded, and hope to put this recording sessions ahead as well. Sir, somebody has said one regarding, let's say I'm pitching an app. So will the UI screenshot work of the features, or do I need to show live demo of the app?
I guess UI works. Screenshots work.
Okay.
And that is a very good idea. If you are showing how the app works, even through screenshots, it is a very good idea. And it's like live demo. I don't think everybody is expecting over there, because for the live demo, it's like आपका जो ऐप है वो सामने वाले जजेस के पास भी होना चाहिए, तो UI screenshots will be more than enough.
Superb. Keshvi, you can, I think every WICASA has an Instagram page, and all of those details have been given on that, or you can just message them, they would reply. Shreya, we've already covered this. Any specifically, that you can start with a phrase or a story or some humor statement instead of direct topic name, as I think they just also covered that, just don't start with your own name and everything. Isha, our debate topics for WRC are out because our branch hasn't communicated the same. I think they will add you to the group and inform you. In case if not, just check up with any WRC WICASA committee member, team members. They would do the needful. Right. Last one, Prabhuth says, what is better, starting the delivery with a story or phrase? I mean, what is more impactful? I think, Prabhuth, it will all depend on what is the topic, according to me, and how can you weave a story. So as I said, a lot of people, so storytelling is an art, right? So it's not more of science. So a lot of people go on because, we say kya stories se shuru karo, but how do you weave a story and put it in front of people with the correct amount of expression on your face? That becomes very important. So if you're able to do that, nice. Otherwise, it could become a deadly combination. Tejas sir, you've got anything on this?
I know, so I totally agree with you over here.
Right. I think that's from my side. Yeah, Nenil, anything that the MOC team can go ahead?
Yeah, sure. Uh, so I hope that most of the doubts have been cleared. But still, if there are any doubts left, students can anytime contact mentors or the committee members anytime. We are ready to help. We are ready to help all of you.
I think in case if students, for people who are participating from branch to regional level, in case if you get any more questions, definitely you can connect to me or Tejas sir, or you can connect to any MCMs of WICASA WRC or send in your groups. I'm sure they could forward us, and we could do that, right?
Yes.
I think are we at the end of the session? Krutika, Nenil? Is Sir Jiten sir or Ketan sir joining in?
Yeah,
No,
I'm
sir.
there. I'm there.
Yes, sir.
I'm there.
Sir, I think done from mine and Tejas sir's side.
Yeah. I've been listening to both of you.
Thank you.
I'll just say a few word of thanks. So, good afternoon, everyone. This is Rutika Jain, the treasurer of WICASA WIRC, and it is my privilege to deliver the vote of thanks on behalf of the entire WICASA WIRC team for today's regional mentorship session under the National Talent Search Initiative. First, a huge thank you to CA Ketan Priya sir, our WIRC chairman, for his constant guidance and support. To CA Piyush Chandak sir, the vice chairman. To CA Jinal Savla ma'am, the secretary. CA Fenil Shah sir, the treasurer. And a big shout out to CA Jitendra Saglani sir, the chairman of WICASA WIRC, for their constant guidance, unwavering support, and for always creating a platform to empower and uplift students across the region. Your presence and encouragement means a lot to us and every aspiring participant here. A sincere thank you to our mentors, C. Hitesh Pankhania sir and C. Tejas Suchak sir, for today, who shared their time, insights, and experience with such dedication. Your valuable tips and motivations, honest guidance will surely help our participants navigate the preparation with greater clarity and confidence. It would also like to thank the entire WICASA WRC team for working tirelessly behind the scenes to ensure that this session was planned and executed seamlessly. Because it's always a team effort, and this session is a testament to that commitment. And of course, a big thank you to all our participants who joined us today. Your energy, curiosity, and hunger truly inspiring. We hope this session has added to your journey. And to everyone who is moving ahead to the regional round, we wish you all the best. Keep believing in yourself, keep pushing your limits, and make the most of this opportunity. And we'll see you on 28th and 29th of June at ICAI Tower BTC. Thank you.
Thank you, Krutika. Thank you, Ketan sir. Thank you, Jiten sir.
Thank you, everybody.
Everyone, thank you for
Being with
having
us are
me.
both the mentors.
Thank you, Tejas sir. Thank you, sir.